What's up, guys? We're back again. This is going to be the Aspect Emperor discussion with Madness. This is part two, which will probably end up being about 4 parts, if not fucking longer. But enough of all that. Let's give you to the man of the hour, Madness.
How's it going, Red? You doing good today?
Yeah, brother.
Very good. So I brought this time it's my personal copy of Warrior or the White Luck Warrior. Sorry, I was gonna say Warrior Prophet, but I do feel like White Luck Warrior and TGO are two parts of kind of the same shift from Prince of Nothing to the Aspect Emperor. This one I bought. It's probably the last. So it is actually the last time that Penguin Canada published Bakker. And I remember it specifically because where I was, they had you walked into the Indigo in Canada here or whatever, and you literally there was a table spread of like 30 White Lick Warriors, like the second table in it from the front door or whatever, because Penguin Canada really did push them for a long time. So one thing, just why I bring up the cover right away and why I brought the book out is because literally, I don't know if people can see it or whatever, but anyone who knows that one, it's got the circumfix there or whatever. And so it's just something to just start us off weirdly or whatever, because I know we're going to go through what White Lake Warrior or whatever. But so I always wondered, what do you think if the first one was the tusk? I believe the Judging Eye from Penguin Canada has the tusk on it. And the second one was the circumfix. What do you think the covers would have been for the Great Ordeal and for the Unholy Console?
Ooh, man. Well, I would think the Unholy Console would probably maybe
Is the
have the
carapace?
yeah, the sarcophagus or whatever. Yeah. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
that's if not, then at least like a picture of the horns, like go like
Mm-hmm.
maybe the arc or but I would think the you know what I mean, or
The
the
carapace,
carapace.
yeah. The
Yeah,
sarcophagus,
because
yeah.
it's more like because they're using like these like the items more than like a
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
name
It's like
mark or whatever.
religious iconography, right? The
Yeah, and
tusk, the circumfix, and
and
then the Great Ordeal. Any guesses on that one?
the great ordeal. Man, I would love it to be the coffer that they pull out of the ground. That would be, but it'd be way too spoilery. It'd be like, why the fuck is there a bomb on the cover? But let's see. You know what would be cool? I'm trying to think, but I almost feel like the Great Ordeal could have had some kind of non-man relic or
Mm-hmm.
something in there, just
Mm-hmm.
because such a big part of it kind of does take place in the Weeping Mountain and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Yeah.
tough one, man. The Great Ordeal is kind of hard to peg down on what would be a good.
Yeah. I think it might have been something Zaidan like with the I don't know what's his standard. It's just the circumfix standard itself, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Oh no, I'm losing you.
yeah, man, that would be a good one for sure. Good thrust there. Anyways, I was trying to trip the start of this. So.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. The Great Ordeal does kind of stump me. I think the Unholy Console is kind of a given. Like we know like what should be on there.
So yeah, we were talking about just to resume normal programming, people.
Yeah.
We're recording still, right?
Technical
Yeah.
difficulties. We're back on
We should
track.
have had a paper sign written up or something, right? Like flash in front of the screen. I'm surprised you don't have one yet, or whatever.
People are like,
Anyways,
what
so
the fuck?
the yeah, the iconic. Yeah, I'm not gonna get it now, but anyways, it was just interesting. Wondering what the Penguin Canada covers would have been for the Great Ordeal and for the No God or the TUC or whatever. Sorry, the Unholy Console. And obviously, I think that you're correct on the carapace. And then yeah, something non-men related for sure. Something for Istarabeth probably would have been the Great Ordeal one as well. Where I was gonna jump from there, because that was just kind of my preamble for the story about Penguin Canada and the publishing company and stuff. I really want to get into the thick of it with you, my friend.
Yeah.
So it's for everyone paying attention or following the bouncing ball, it's the White Luck Warrior, and we get a lot of there's density to this one. I actually was listening to some of Steve's talks, latest one, whatever. Shout out to Steve Talks, and I
Yes.
believe I forget
Yeah.
his co-host's name, Daniel and Katrina or something, or Katharina or something.
Yeah, they're killing it, dude. They're like
Yeah,
going
I
like
feel bad that I forget her name right now because I
they're
just
I
listened to
haven't
her
like
speak a
I
bunch,
mean,
but
it's a lot of material to consume. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched, like, I've popped in and caught a little bits here and there, but I really dig what they're doing because they're taking their sweet ass time and just really mulling over like chapter by chapter,
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really recommend enough. You know what I mean? If you really want to absorb the shit, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Even
Steve,
even I mean, like we can see how much we failed to jam in like a solid hour or whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
absolutely.
but you know, even they're I think they're doing like 2 or 3 chapters at a time. Anyways, shout out to them that they're doing a great job there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Steve and
for
then Jimmy. I've been on those discussions with
yeah.
Jimmy and Amanda. I mean, there are some fucking cool ass booktubers that have been really going above and beyond to like show the series some
Mm-hmm,
love. And I
mm-hmm.
couldn't ask more. Couldn't ask more.
Well, it's new too. Like I said last time, it's very exciting to see just how many people are discovering the books for the first time right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like even on the comments on the Judging Eye video there that we did, or what ended up being the Judging Eye video, people talked about just like finishing their first reread or something, right? And like that, it really is a set of books you have to read at least twice, right? Like yeah, the second time is just it's I mean, he started writing when he was 30, or not started writing. He had been writing for like 15 years, whatever. He published first when he was 35, and that was off to the races, like we talked about last time, like chain smoking through the Warrior Prophet and stuff. And yeah. Anyways, Red, let's get into this, man. So we started, or we're here, White Luck Warrior. White
Yes.
Luck Warrior. It's a brick of a book, by the way, in Canada. Like
Dude, I was
literally a
just
full
thinking
on
about
fucking
this
brick.
because
Like
I had just did like a live stream and I think I was kind of making a comment about like if you have this many pages in your fucking book, make it 2 books. And then today I was like, isn't White Luck Warrior like long as fuck? And didn't I just
mm-hmm.
eat up every fucking word?
Oh man,
Like
it's
Bakker has me contradict myself constantly.
I can't say enough about the fact that I really do think that White Luck Warrior and Great Ordeal are kind of symmetrically supposed to be like two halves of the Warrior Prophet or whatever. I haven't really figured out where to structurally like demark everything exactly, but anyways, Bakker's gonna Bakker. But let's get into some content for some people here. So we open up, and I know that you were trying to dive into this last time because it is just so immediate. But essentially, we're 2 days after them getting the scalpers getting out of Killologist or whatever, right? And
Right.
like, yeah, and so we've the epilogue is Claire coming down the hill from the Judging Eye, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
know that he's survived and he made it out after his haunting or possession or whatever you want to call it exactly, or whatever. And so it came in, and this is something stylistically that I think Bakker came into during the Aspect Emperor. I know that there was agents and editors and stuff that were part of this process. But he gets into this zone in Aspect Emperor at the start of every book. He kind of like, besides the what has come before, he gets into like the breakdown of like, oh, this is where we're at, kind of, right? Like,
Yeah.
kind of preambles what just happened over. So like the captain's still in charge, Sorrel's broken, right? Like everyone has new respect for Cleric because obviously in all their like scalping, they'd never seen him like, OP out like quite like Kilogis or whatever, right? Like
Yeah, he definitely makes his fucking mark on them, right? I mean, like and will continue to. But like, yeah, that I mean, think about that. Like when you're just been traveling with a dude and you think you know him, even if he is a mysterious guy, you kind of still probably think you got him figured out, and then all of a sudden, out of fucking nowhere, he turns just super fucking cyan sorcerer on you.
that's
Dude, yeah.
that's exactly the way to put it for sure. Yeah. Even well, he comes like blazing out the second time in Judging Eye, right? And he like saves them in the lava zone or whatever it is in the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. So and just what are your people also are how do we word this exactly? They're unsure of what happened with Mamara as well, right? And the core like the core and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
even I was like, I'm not 100%, but I do love the way that book starts with you have the party and it's fucked. You know what I mean? It starts on a basically on a broken leg,
Mm,
and what they got to look forward to is not going to be any better. I love this part. Like it's such a great way to start the book because not only does it like pose an immediate threat, it really, I mean, like for me, it was like what made the Judging Eye that much better. because it was like, okay, because now I'm really getting a taste of the consequences of going through killages, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and too often do I read fantasy where like these people go through horrific events and they just come out, it maybe they got some bumps and bruises, but mentally they're still like with it complete, like
Right. And
that's what I
that's
loved
just
about
not how trauma
it. Was like,
works.
yeah, like Sorrel is deranged and
Mm-hmm.
he like very much becomes like comic relief. But it also like there, even though it's funny, there's a like a bunch of seriousness to it, and I guess I just felt that immediately, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was glad because it really got me on board. Where, like I said, like after reading Judging Eye, that like at the point it was like, well, this is my least favorite Bakker book. But then
Mm-hmm.
immediately starting the next, it was like, well, man, fuck that. Maybe that book is better than I thought. It had me second
Well,
guessing.
we talked too about different kinds of readers that there's less density to Judging Eye because it doesn't have to do the lifting weight of like their darkness, right?
Yeah.
And I even Steve talks when they were in Warrior Prophet there or whatever. Uh, the first book is unique, and if you love it, you love it because it's just so much densely packed stuff, and it's also rough. I mean, like he worked on it for 15 years, but at the same time, it is the first one that like passed the publishing threshold or whatever as well, right? And then obviously Warrior Prophet's written in like a year, which might as well be an hour compared to 15 years, whatever. And then because I know I want to keep us on a good pace today, or whatever, with what time we have, whatever. But so it structurally, as I said, I find a lot of similarities with White Look Warrior and the first half of the Warrior Prophet or whatever. But you have you have the mop almost immediately, right? Like, and it's Akamian says something or thinks something along the lines of from one dark hell to another or something, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just a tree darkness
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of
yeah. Yeah.
instead
And
of
it
mountain
kind of
dungeons.
almost remind, because like we said, there's like these kind of homages in a way, like to Tolkien, and some in some ways, and I like the mop reminded me of like Mirkwood or some shit. Like we were gonna
Mm-hmm.
go into this next
Mm-hmm.
spot, and just the
Yeah.
fact that they know that they're going from one fucking hell to the next really reminds me of the
Mm-hmm.
like, out of the frying pan into the fire kind of thing.
I just want to say for any people who love trees or have an affinity to trees, but then also to the people who don't know as well. There's something very interesting about being in a forest where the leaves are actually obscuring the sunlight.
Yeah,
So
where you have
it's
like a
like
real canopy, so it's like
yeah.
you're like in a forest house, kind of, so
There's
to speak.
something visceral to that. There's
Yeah,
something visceral to that.
big
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
big time.
absolutely. Well, okay, so I want to keep us like clipping along. So, anyways, we've started the scalpers, the ordeal. So now we have Kellis kind of having those first conversations with
Proyas.
Proyas. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
What do
so
you what
this
do you
that's again. So not only, oh my god, man. Ugh. So not only did like he started off really like in like I love the beginning and how it really added to the Judging Eye. Then we go into this, and I felt like immediately those conversations between Kellis and Proyas are, to me, it was like, man, this is more like philosophical retro or introspective kind of fucking
hmm
conversations that like really loved about Prince of Nothing. It feels like it's boom, it's coming in it
Yeah.
now. And so that's where it seemed like he was taking his new and mixing it with his old, and I couldn't have
hmm
fucking just gravitated towards it enough. Man, that was when I really was like, yes, this is hitting everywhere I need it to hit. Like I'm on fire, and the book just started. Like I think I read The White Luck Warrior faster than I read any of the other books, and it's the longest one, right? Like it's
I
like
believe it. Yeah,
I
I believe
fucking
it.
flew through it. Just really, it felt like it was just doing everything for me. I loved it. And obviously, you know what I mean? Like Proyas is a character that I really grew to love in Prince of Nothing. Didn't necessarily start out liking him. I mean, Bakker doesn't give you a whole lot to like that character, but you follow
hmm
him, through the fucking desert, on the way to this Shima, and especially the events that happen in Shima really changed my perspective on the character. So and like we were saying, in the judging eye, it's really that you start to see this passing of the torch. So then
Mm,
when you do get your kind of Prince of Nothing characters, it's like, oh fuck yes. You know what I mean? At
right.
least it was for me. You know, it was like, God damn, I loved all the parts with Proyas. But I think it starts off really good because I want to say this is the conversation kind of quickly goes into this thing where Kellis is kind of like opening up to Proyas and telling him shit he doesn't want to hear. You know,
Yeah.
like he's kind of a guy that's so absorbed in this faith and belief. You know, for Kellis, I think Kellis is kind of like,
It's like, the prophet pulling back the curtain and like showing the man behind Oz or something, right? No believer wants that.
yeah, absolutely not.
Right.
And Bakker does a really good job of just, you know what I mean? Like we know that for a fact, but it's like we get some of Proyas's like thoughts and stuff. And to think about that is like, because he's thinking about all the motherfuckers he's killed, you know, for this
In
whole
Kellis's name. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. So now he's like started to understand. He's like, if this guy's not for real, I'm not like a fucking holy like warrior or you know,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm a murderer. Like in
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh,
concept,
and a monster too,
yeah,
right?
a
Like,
massive
yeah.
monster. And that would
Mm-hmm.
be just imagine that for being somebody who's 100% bought in and believes that they're doing the fucking work of God to for that to be questioned at all by your own self would be fucking oh dude, that's like disaster territory.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's
Mm-hmm.
existential
Well, we're gonna
crisis and shit.
we're gonna get more there in the future books too, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. But I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's just that stuff really sparked a fire in me because it was like, dude, this is insane. Like I could really put myself in his shoes, and I just was like, I was almost overwhelmed, just like he is. It really hit
Mm-hmm.
me heavy.
Okay, and then to set up our tripart here, whatever. Well, actually, before we move on for the ordeal, I really like this book too in terms of we talked about last time Sorewheel and the new cast and stuff, whatever. But this is also where Sorewheel gets to kind of both show his cultural strengths, but also like he is a young man. He's like, he's getting his driver's license in Irwa. Just, is a little different than like being 16 or 17 in our capacity or whatever. But like obviously the Sicarpi have trained to hunt strength, right? Like this is what they live, right? They're like you talk about those homages and stuff. It's like the Rohirrim maybe or something of Tolkien or
Yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah, for
yeah, yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and so like they have. I think I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but we're gonna range obviously, but there's no point in going through it directly in order. But you have that moment where they're out on that hunting party, and that captain, like their captain, Harnalis or whatever, like he's like, no, I don't care if they die, I don't care if they're like sons of kings and stuff. They need to get bloodied, right? Like an
Yeah,
untested army is, yeah, yeah. So
I liked him. I liked him. Like
oh, he's definitely great, man. I we'll talk about him more during this whatever. But yeah, he really really he's just like I don't give a shit. Like we're gonna ride down some Shrank, and then when Sorewheel has that monologue about like the torturing of the Shrank, whatever. And like how like he like all the boys are afraid, and it's kind of like this. Like you can see a bunch of teenagers like not wanting to go too far or something, right? But obviously in this case, like he like Harnalis or whatever, he's like he wants them. Well, they call him like Old Harney or something at some point, right? Their captain, and then
yeah,
like this is when Sorewheel. We were talking about language last time too. This is when Sorewheel just starts to get his like hands on Shake, but I think in this case, Escalese translates for him.
yeah, because
Like,
Escalise
yeah,
is
the
with
the
them,
mandates.
and
Yeah.
I do love this because the Scions, I feel like start to kind of resent Sorewheel. And some of that I feel like comes from him having Escalise
Mm.
because this mandate sorcerer basically like there's that part where like like it says something about how Escalise goes through ponies like crazy. And then he
Yeah.
even
Well,
and then
that's later. Yeah, that's later. Yeah,
and then
yeah,
he even
yeah. We're
starts
getting there.
taking fucking ponies from the fucking Scions. But yeah, I mean, I did like that there did seem like here in the White Luck Warrior, it seemed like this is where you start to see Sorewheel kind of apart from the rest of the Scions, because really he's like very much like the rest of them. But then here you see, oh, he's very different because of where he comes from. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And like
Not to mention the mask, right?
and as well as like who he's got behind him, right? He's got the
Yeah,
juice, he got the God
yeah.
juice going. So yeah, I really love the captain though, because I feel like there is this like pampering of the Scions, and it's kind of obvious, but and even to the captain who is like, nah, fuck this, like I'm gonna get you dirty, like
Yeah,
you're gonna do some work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. So I love that. I love that monologue with Sorrow. This is again early on, so they're kind of shadowing the ordeal in a place that there's not supposed to be shrank. So right, this is before they realize that there's the what is like the chained horde of shrank behind them or something, right? Like
Yeah, like
and
yoke or whatever.
yeah, the 10 yoke legion or yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get there. All right, and then just for the third part to set it up, and then we go back to Monmen, obviously, and we've got what this reminds me of Darkness so much, and it you know I love it or whatever in terms of like the court intrigue and stuff, whatever. But we get back to you know Mathanet and Esminet and this distrust going on between them, and thus enters Inrolatus
Oh God.
because because you know that's the person who may be able to read Mathanet's face for real, right? Like
Right.
one of my favorite pieces too is like I think this is a little this is when Esminet's asking, and I am skipping around a whole bunch here, or whatever, but we're
That's
moving
fine.
through at a good clip. But she wears the anointing mask or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and goes and has that prepared monologue, and it's the story about the wolves that Proyas told her about, or whatever, and just like are you the wolf in the thicket kind of thing? Like are you someone that I should fear? And obviously Kalmomas, you know, little bastard, has stoked all these fears in her, right? Like he's almost, you know, you watch it happen, and it's like this kid has just basically told you a bunch of lies about his uncle, or like, you know, whispered a bunch, and Esmond isn't clocking that he's done yen as well, right?
Right.
Like, so anyway, so we got Inrolatus on screen. I feel like he needs a special mention in terms of what you think about Inrolatus.
Dude, this guy is fucking unchained, bro. Unfucking chained. It's like, because he's just insane. He's a fucking madman. But then Bakker has to make a madman make sense at times, right? Like, because even though
Mm-hmm.
he's insane, sometimes he says things, and you're like, wait a minute, that kind of makes sense.
Well, it
Like
reminds
he
us
and
of
then like
Nair too, right? Yeah.
he's the one that's like the most like Kellis, right? Is that what like the family says about him?
I think he's I don't know. I don't know what they eventually say about him.
Or that
I know that
he's seen the farthest is the deal or some shit? I can't remember. There's some...
maybe. I mean, I really am undecided about this. One thing I will say though is I think that he got like the raw strengths, quote unquote, of both Esminet and Kellis. So like he got all like the raw, you know, just like raw ability of Kellis, but then he's like chained to the raw passion of Esminet or whatever, right? So like, you know, it's like big heart, big brain, sure, but like combine those two and you have a Dunyan who shits on the floor and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
has to be chained to the wall or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Like
dude.
impulsive, right? He in fact he's like it's funny that you mentioned that actually. It's like he's so impulsive as to be like the antithesis or the antithesis of the Dunyan, right? Because the Dunyan are all about self control and self awareness.
Yeah, he's
And
like
what does he
jerking
say?
off and
I shit when I shit, right? I
yeah.
shit when I shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
But
and
anyways, oh,
so
go on, you got it.
so the first time through this, there's plenty of like just the dialogue was fucking on fire for me. The shit that comes out of I don't I called him in relatus, and then with Jimmy, and then they were saying in relatus, and I kind of like that.
That's cool.
But either way, this guy spits some fucking lava at times. But the second time around, knowing what I know, right? Like I'm really wondering, like, does in relatus know? Because he says, like, I see you, brother. And I was like, does he see? Does in relatus see the no God? Like, does he
Mm,
know? something that like but I couldn't really, there was nothing at least on the second read through that could really be like, yep, he did. I mean, I think I'm
Well,
just
he does say to
speculating.
Kelmomus at some point, something about like "show me your mouth, brother" or something, right?
Yes, yeah, because
Like
there's some weird,
who's
the
he
first way
sees,
the
yeah,
first time through it could just be, like, oh, here's crazy brother, you know what I mean? But that second time through, when you have the knowledge, you're
yeah.
like, wait a minute, like maybe this motherfucker was too smart, like, and he knew everything that was
Well,
going
I
on.
will say, obviously, as we ranged last time, we'll probably range forward and backwards and stuff. But so when Kellis actually does, look at Kelmomus at Golgotha or whatever, he acknowledges the fact that Samarmis and Kelmomus are like oscillating. They're switching spots, which makes the reread even more fun because you never know which one's the voice
Which
and
one's
which
being
one's in
Sammy
control
and
of the
which one's
body.
not? That's because you
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
just assume,
exactly.
I guess, like, because if you don't dig into it, you just assume that Sammy's always the voice.
Yeah. No,
But
that's, I mean, even when because it predisposes you in Judge and I, because the voice says, why did it take so long to kill me or something? Why did you take so long to kill me,
right,
whatever, right?
right,
Like,
right.
and for us, like, especially like Baker's, basically writing like an 80s metal album or something or whatever, right? But like it's like we think of horror movies from the 80s and stuff, and it's like, well, of course that's just like the crazy kid serial killer, like, just of course he would like attribute, his voice there. But in Irwa, you're like, what if that actually is, the soul of his brother was trapped in like
Right.
a deformed body or something, right? Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh man, yeah. And then so obviously in Relatus or in Relatus, is that what
In
you said?
Relatus, yeah, I
In
kind of
Relatus, I
like
like
that.
that too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, he sees that, but ultimately he agrees to meet his uncle.
Right.
And yeah, and so I'm gonna pin that one for a second and rotate as much as we're gonna go through it. But actually, no, you know what? Let's just stay on that for a second. So, anyways, because this kind of eats up the middle section of the book, which is very interesting to me in the Monmen arc. Obviously, there are things that Esminet is having to deal with, and then certainly we have, which maybe we'll move it to afterwards. Maybe we'll move to this first, and then we'll go back to the Mathanet in Relatus meeting or whatever. But you know, what do you think about? Got to keep it fresh. What do you think about Esminet hiring the? Well, she wants to hire a narender, and apparently the true, disciples of a Jokli or whatever, or Jokli or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
apparently someone has pointed out it's like a joke lie or something, right? Like, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, but that wasn't me, by the way. Someone else. I think it was Cyborg a long time ago, or whatever. But anyways, so she. Well, first off, a question in two parts, I suppose. What did you think about the fact that Ajokli has a cult, like, and he's a cult shunned by the other cults, right? They don't worship him in the Thousand Temples, and then the true Narendar are like the best assassins in the world. But there's also then, I mean, I would assume there's an Ajokli. I mean, maybe even Kelmomus, maybe Kellis, who fuck knows, whatever. But assumptively, there would be a White Luck Warrior version of an Ajokli Narindar, right? Like, if you have a whole cult devoted to that and stuff, like, obviously we meet the Yatwarian ones, but
Yes.
they say any god can have a White Luck Warrior.
Right. Okay. And see, I didn't even really think about that. Now you're just making me think now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's my intention, sir.
yeah, because like that was the thing is I remember like I wasn't sure if there could only be like one like living at a time kind of deal when I first got into
Well,
this.
that's proven wrong by the course of Aspect Emperor, right?
Right, right.
Because
And then because then
yeah, yeah,
with Sorewheel, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Because that I remember the first time I was like I started to realize that Sorewheel was was the Narendra. He was the White Luck Warrior, and like I was just like, wait.
Mm.
So
Well,
yeah, but
the trick.
that's
Yeah,
a
go on.
really
Sorry.
interesting question. That if a Jokely has a Narender or like he has his White Luck, wouldn't it be Kelmomis?
Or Kellis.
Like because Kelmomis, like I feel like sets up so much of the Anasarimber deaths
Mm-hmm.
in a way, like or at least he's
That's what
there.
I thought he was going for, to be honest. When I
You know what I
first
mean?
read through
Like
the books and stuff.
it like
Yeah.
I started wondering. It was like Kelmomis is the one that's like and wants them all dead. Like it seems like he's the White Luck Warrior,
Mm-hmm.
but Kellis would actually probably be a better pick for as far as a Jokely.
Mm.
Tough to say though. Tough to say.
Okay, so I guess a question in three parts now. Uh, what else do you make? The one clue that the readers get that the narender that Esminet purchases whatever is not the true one because of the haircut, right? I don't know if you remember this little clue or whatever, but
Oh, no,
apparently,
no, no. I didn't get that.
okay. So the Ajokli Narendar and the people who actually are devotees of the cult, um, they have long hair, and the White Luck Warrior has his like cropped up or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, so when Esminet goes and talks to the Narendra or whatever, she specifically notes that, but then also he repeats himself, where like the White Luck Warrior has memories of him meeting the Narendra and like before he kills him and stuffs him under the bed or whatever, but he says that he saw the White Luck Warrior coming. Like he gutted a dove in the old way or something or whatever, and like this is how it happened before or whatever, right? And it's always there's something. I mean, literally long form on this series. There is something about this sequence of events that I really, really don't understand what Bakker was going for, because the Ajokli devotees seem to know something. Like, do you remember Esminet's mom? Telling her like not to go into augury or whatever, like don't predict the future, don't read the stars, because this happens early on in Warrior Prophet that she tells the
Mm.
Camian about the story, I believe, when they reunite.
Man, I'm trying.
Okay,
Fuck. Yeah. I
whatever.
mean,
I'm just dropping hints for everyone. So,
sure,
anyways, but then
sure.
there's the Carathaean too, right? The short story that was in the Kickstarter for Grimdark magazine.
Oh, is it the
Do you
one
remember
that's in the evil is a matter of
anthology?
perspective? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Anthology, Evil is a Matter of Perspective, I believe it's called,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that deals with like premonition as well, whatever. But there is something weird, and I'm just tossing this out there for people to think about, whatever. But when the Narendar revisit, like when he thinks about the fact, or sorry, the White Luck Warrior thinks about the fact of like the event killing the Narendar, and then you have Esminet going to meet who she doesn't realize is the White Luck Warrior, right? Like shout out to Teddy somewhere or whatever, but he's going through his first read right now, and we're all very, very entertained by him making observations and stuff while he's going through. He's got a whole thread on our Discord or whatever. But yeah, no, it's you don't realize later that the real Ajokli Narendar is under the bed, and the White Luck Warrior is taking the place, and like Esminet's actually hiring the White Luck Warrior to take on Mathanet, whatever, which makes the conclusion of this book kind of a foregone one or whatever, right? In terms
Right.
of yeah, I mean, as it happens, right? Or so the gods believe. I don't know, how that works out for other ones, other White Luck Warriors out there.
Yeah.
Sorewheel, cough, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, but what that I mean, people sleep on Esmond. I really do think whatever. But this is kind of her decision that she wrestles with, right? Like she is distrustful of Mathanet. We're kind of covering the whole Monmen arc in one kind of go here, which is nice, whatever. But like, she's distrustful of Mathanet. She believes Kalmomas because he like I don't even know if Kalmomas knows what he's doing, but he's creating like discord and stuff. And then do you yeah, what do you think about her decision to go and try and Narendra Mathanet?
I was like, personally, I like Mathanet's character, so I was pissed. But at the same time, I have to admit, like, we know how it ends, but like when she goes to hire him, I thought that, well, shit, she might have just like opened up the door to doom. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
she just killed her whole family. Um,
Which I mean, I don't want to skip ahead to the end there or whatever, but that's and ends up what's happening essentially because not only does she like unleash the beast or whatever, but when I like man, I knew it was gonna happen in my head, like, but I was when Mathanet and her reconcile, and he's like, the mantle and whatever, the tusk are reconciled, or whatever, and then the White Luck Warrior comes out, and it's like, fuck, man, like immediate regret. I'm just like, no, like don't let it be, man. Like it's
oh
just like it's
God.
done. Yeah, yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
I mean, that's what's funny is it's like he basically put it out there for you, right? Like when she hires this guy, like we're like, oh fuck, the White Luck Warrior is now on the board, not just on the
Yeah.
board, he's in the inner circle. So
Mm-hmm.
he's
Yeah.
put
Well,
plenty of
we'll get there.
information
Let's
on
not.
in our laps to tell us that motherfuckers are gonna start dying. But
Yeah.
still, I was really surprised when Mathanet died.
Okay. We definitely skipped ahead there. I'll bring us back to the we're in the middle somewhere here, or whatever. But so as I said, symmetrically, I feel like White Luck Warrior and Great Ordeal are like two halves of the Warrior Prophet essentially. But just like the Warrior Prophet has its first big battle, we get the first real big battle when like the witches are unleashed, when the Shrank are like spider crawling towards the ordeal in the dark and stuff. What did you think about the Great Ordeal Unleashed there, whatever, the
Yeah,
first
this
time,
is
right?
fucking amazing. This is so fucking cool. I'm not sure if it like hit me like Mengetta did, but it was, it's a whole different battle, so it's like come giving you different shit. And the Swayali, the imagery for the Swayali was just fucking blowing my mind. Imagining these like kind of frail looking girls like lighting up like fucking candles and just fucking
And
destroying
they're all like
shit.
under 20 and they pull their billows, which are supposed to protect the Chore and stuff, right?
Oh
Like,
man, it's fucking
yeah.
crazy. And then also, I want to say this is really when we really actually get a taste of the threat of the Shrank, because we've
Mm-hmm.
saw them in Killages, in massive numbers and stuff, but it's not like this where the fucking it I can't remember what they call it, but it's because like as far as the eye can see, it's just fucking writhing like an ocean of Shrank.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the ordeal starts calling it some. I gotta fucking go back and remember it,
No,
but
I know. Yeah, it's fine.
yeah,
Don't lose ourselves on
yeah,
that. Go on.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is fucking brutal, because I also feel like this is where Aspect Emperor, if you haven't felt like it was the darker series, this is where it's got all the fucking proof, because
Mm-hmm.
now we're not just fighting, each other. It's not like the righteous versus the heathen, like people on people. Now you're fighting a fucking evil fucking race of beings that are not just out to fucking kill you. They're out to kill you, fuck your dead
Rape you.
body, fucking
Yeah.
eat you while they fuck you, whatever kind of, just
Yeah, yeah.
horrible depravity kind of fucking shit. And you're trying to fight a battle while watching your buddy who just gets killed, and you're gonna try to keep fighting while you're gonna see him getting fucked. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you're literally watching your friends being killed and raped at the same fucking time. This is in my mind, my feeble little mind, this shit was so dark and dastardly. I mean, it was just like trying to wrap my head around a soldier's frame of mind in this battle, because you wouldn't have seen anything like this. You wouldn't even have heard of this.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think you have saw it all, especially if you're a veteran of the Holy War. So imagine seeing that much, a veteran of the Holy War. Like, these guys are not like fucking, they're not like Sorewheel, like they're not kids. Like, so these guys have been fucking killing people their whole lives.
Zidaniani,
But
man.
but this would fucking make everything you had done, those millions of lives you destroyed, this would make that shit look like child's play. And how do you fucking fight that? How do you fight
Well,
something
they
that
sing. They
ferocious?
sing, which is awesome. I mean, I grew up as a children of choir or whatever, and I know a number of us did or whatever for whatever reason. But like they sing, right? Like, which is
Yes.
just I
Which this
love
is
that ode to Homer that Bakker does, right? Like,
I love this because, yes, this is what brings me back to fucking Mingetta, where we're a warring we have come, a
yeah.
reaving, like, oh, dude, like that's what it made me think of. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you're probably got to do, because it's
Hmm.
like you're going to have to find a way to come together in an insane manner to combat this insane foe. Like, fucking, you're going to have to get just as
But
crazy. And I
it's
think
the
that
same. It's the same logic as like drill chants in service and stuff, right? Like it unites you in some kind, and obviously like simple lyrics, or whatever, right? But
Sure,
yeah.
absolutely. It can really, like, some things are very inspiring, and I think that's something that a lot of times we just take for granted, like how powerful inspiration can be. You know,
Hmm.
um, yeah. I also like to look
I,
at it
I
as it's the first like like moving for like the ordeal towards being madmen because they're also just like, fuck it, let's just start singing, boys. Look, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's
So
to
this is
some it
actually
might seem a
perfect.
little crazy, but guess what? That's just the first step into crazy town that we're going.
We said Dante's Inferno last time. We're
Yes,
descending together, right? Like, yeah. No, this is a perfect segue, actually, or digression, or whatever. But so as this is going on, and the Great Ordeal is having their first contest with the Shrank, whatever, we have uh, Sorewheel and the Scions trying desperately to get back. And this is where Escalise is breaking the backs of all those ponies, as you said, or whatever. But they're trying to warn the fact that there's the 10 pull or the 10 yoke legion, coming in as the spear in the back, right? And this is also, I believe, no, not yet. No, I'm not there yet. Okay, yeah, but yeah. So, anyways, you got the whole ordeal. They haven't split up yet, as far as I understand, because it's the second battles in the book that take place when they're split up, right? Or is this also when they're split up?
I think they are split up. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
So
pretty
he's
sure
trying to
because they're
reach.
split
He's
into
trying to reach.
foraging groups.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so he's trying to reach, like, Sorwheel's trying to reach Caiutas and Surwa, right? Because they were the contingent that had the Swayali and the yeah. I think Caiutas is leading the army of the North or whatever. So it's like the Thanyeri and so on and so forth. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so you've got Sorwheel and Co coming in hot, whatever. Riding all the ponies to death or whatever, and then walking. And this is where Zasranga is. It's Obote Getwa or whatever is the translator, the old like translator
Obategua.
that
Yeah,
Zas.
Obategua.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Yes, we remembered this time. Very good. Yeah. So he ends up having to walk, and this is when Sorwheel tells he learns enough Shayak to tell Zasranga that, like, the god fucking has him, essentially, right? Like, Yatwer's kind of god is whatever. Escalise is killing ponies with his fat ass or whatever. And then no. So like that whole section too is just, they're obviously, we talked about the importance of all these treaties and stuff, and these young rulers are like literally dying like piece by piece as they're trying to, because again, as old Captain Harney says, whatever, only one of you needs to make it back to warn the ordeal, right?
That's
Like,
it.
only
Oh,
one of
fucking
you,
good old
right?
captain. But I do like, because while this is going down, for one, it shows that like this is where a Sorewheel becomes not just because of the gods, but just his like his upbringing, who he is, the horse king.
Right.
He
The Horse King.
understands like the tracks and shit, and he
Mm-hmm.
sees the signs. He's like one of the first people that
Well, he
knows.
also pulls the whole Porsporian thing. He makes the face in the ground, and it's his dad's face, and it tells him the what is something the water accumulates before the prow or whatever. So it's like it's accumulated. It's a boat metaphor that Bakker has that I don't have off the top of my head or whatever. But
Yeah,
Sorwheel tries that as well, and like sees his dad talking stuff, and then that's when he like finally warns like Hardy, because that's where they start their mad dash back to the ordeal.
yeah, but then
Is
you
like
also start to see the scions are not all like this is where Sorewheel starts to kind of like be braver than the rest. We
mm,
see like scions are not necessarily like on their way back, like, and as people are fucking dropping off, it's becoming a lesson. Like they're like less and less do they want to do this. you
mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah,
it
yeah. You're
fucking it's Sorewheel is
too
it,
late
even
now.
Escalise, a believer, fucking
Yes.
is starting to fucking doubt and go, or at least like he's losing it a bit because he's becoming overwhelmed by what he knows and what he can see, right?
Right.
And I
Right.
like in this moment, or at least like the moment we're kind of leading up to is really like where Sorewheel's almost like the only one that was able to fucking stand tall amongst all the fucking overwhelming bullshit that was
Yeah.
this moment.
Yeah.
Because he's the one
Absolutely.
that like snaps Escalise out of it. He's like, give him some lights.
Well, I was just gonna say that's I believe the moment you're talking about, but they finally get overwhelmed, right? And then they have their little like oh my goodness, it's gonna kill me now. But there's a spell for the cant or whatever, or the ward or whatever, right? Like there's a name for it, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyways, they have this like enclosing globe or whatever, and the Shranker, they're inside, like just Shrank penis everywhere, just just Shrank everywhere. And he's finally like, yeah, he shakes him and he's like, we have to warn the ordeal. Like what? And then I believe it's Caiutas and Surwa or whatever who notice the bar of heaven, in the wrong place. Like there's not anyone who's supposed to be out there or whatever. and which leads to probably one of my favorite parts in this entire book is when Sorewheel wakes up and Serwa is carrying him,
Yes.
and she's like, "Many have died for you, like young king or whatever," and he's like, "So drop me then."
Yes.
Like, and he just like, I love it. He's like, and she can't get over the incongruity between the Yatwer's mask, which is like all love and stuff, and him being like, "So fucking drop me," like.
Yeah. That is great. And that's our like that's the first time. Well, he's not the first time he's seen her, but that's like the first time they've like been that close, right? Like when
Yeah,
she
yeah.
rescues him. Because as we know, it like
Because
it
he's been with Coyotes and Moangus and stuff,
yeah.
right? And
Like I
he's like
think
seen her around and
he's
stuff.
seen her, but like at this point, like he's as close as he's been. Like, oh fuck.
All right. Well, no. To keep on brand here, let's check back in with our scout boy, our skin eaters. So they're running through the mop. They have let's say, well, they run through the mop and they first get their first big hit with they see the other scout boy, the one with the other wizard. He's the ex Scarlet Spire guy or whatever, and they see them like falling off the cliff and stuff and running away from Shrank, and they know there's a mobbing happening. Right, they're gonna run into a bunch of Shrank coming after them, or whatever, and running out the forest, and and they have that interaction where they basically like swell their ranks again,
Yes, with
right?
the stone
Because
hags. Yeah.
yes, the Stonehags. Thank you.
Yeah.
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 Which
Yeah. Yeah.
everyone apparently, all the Scout Boy universally hate, allegedly.
Yeah. And I love the way that Baker kind of like says that. It's like how like Cassoder's like swells the ranks or whatever. Like, it's so like kind of scumbaggy or whatever. But it's so good. It's so good.
My one of my favorite parts there is how he takes out the ex Scarlet Spire, or whatever. He like jams a chora into his mouth. And then he like picks it out of his salted skull afterwards, or whatever, or his like salted face. Yeah. And then he's just like, "Well, you're either with us or you're walking back alone or something, right?" And he's just
Oh
like, "We're
fuck.
going north. What the fuck are you going north for?" Right. And then this, as I said last time, I have to get into this. This is where one of my favorite fantasy sequences ever kicks in. They start giving them query, right? Or they don't
Yes.
start even giving the Stonehags query, but the skin eaters are all like juicing on fucking who we find out is Kujaris and Moy, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to like, did you have any clue what the fuck he was giving him when you first read this?
I
I did not. I mean, I knew it wasn't just like some fucking kind of like alchemical powder. I knew it was some kind of weird shit, but I
I
had
think I
no
think I
clue it
gotta
had
think
been.
about this in the sense of, do you remember we have Chamv already from series one, right? From Prince of Nothing, like Iocus and Chamv, and it's been, I mean, there's plenty of arguments about this, to be honest. Remember, I personally, so Chamv is supposed to come from like the Aeonin, like the Exuni tribe outpost, right? There's some honorary soldiers that are part of the Holy War and stuff. But if you look into the glossary or whatever, and this is a deep dive for anyone who cares to look whatever, but they say that the one tribe that remained in Aeona are like the producers of Cham or whatever. But they, the translucent skin is what gets me, right? Because the Inkori are supposed to be said to have like translucent skin, and Iocus, like it's supposed to be both a life extension technology, and it makes your like Iocus, like you see his veins and stuff, right? Which is one of the coolest parts about the blind necromancer or whatever, as he's later called or whatever. But so I took my cues from Cham. So Cham was already a drug in there, and there's been other fantasy series that have drugs in them and stuff. But for Query and it coming from Cleric, I really didn't have a guess. I don't think
Yeah.
I could have. I just
Yeah, me
assumed,
neither.
like, they see in the dark. They end up getting better like nocturnal vision. And the Stonehags originally, because they don't share the query with the Stonehags, they just run the fucking Stonehags ragged or whatever, right?
Right.
Which is why the twist about his name starts with a K, but the last Stonehag who actually ends up being a Cole, he ends up being a skin spy anyways,
Yeah.
whatever. But
He's like
that's why that
Soma or
twist is so
whatever.
neat, right? Like, why is this one skin hag fucking taking, or stone hag, a fucking skin hag?
Yeah.
Yeah, why is this one stone hag making it all the way? But no, I did not have a guess. Me and Baker have talked about this a lot. He's been, we were both kind of like I don't know, like ghetto upbringing kind of whatever, in that sense, whatever. And he's a farm boy too, or whatever. But we've known a lot of like trauma and addiction in our lives, or whatever. So I think that was kind of his homage to that in the books. But yeah, no, I really didn't have a guess on that. I I want to say that I figured it out like right before Mamara figures it out, anyways. But that's Bakker like giving us the pieces right up to the moment, right? Because when she tells Akamian that like, and this is obviously jumping ahead or whatever, but we're just ranging around. It doesn't. It's like surprising, but it's not a surprise necessarily, right? Like it's
Right,
like, oh,
right,
that makes sense, of course.
right.
Like,
Yeah,
and
it is a
you know,
surprise, but not a surprise. Yeah, that's a
well,
great way
what's
of
more
putting it.
what's more 80s metal album than like, no, we're like literally snorting the fucking ashes of our dead heroes or whatever, right?
And that, like, I think you're like, I do really love about that is that, yeah, he does. It's a drug one way or the other, but he treats it
Yep.
very much so like one. Sure, there are benefits or plus sides, but there are downsides too. And
Well,
we,
when it came in, like literally has to withdraw, right? When they
yeah,
like, and like for someone who's ever been like, if you know anyone with addiction or whatever, like
yeah, it's
first off,
horrible.
like help them or whatever. But like literally, like it was almost like viscerally recognizable, right? Like
Yeah,
because it is like,
absolutely, man. When they,
yeah,
especially
yeah.
when they start to fiend for it, which is
Mm-hmm.
later, but like when they
Mm-hmm.
start to do that, that's when I was like, oh, I know this feeling, all too familiar. Like
All
ah,
too familiar. Yeah, yeah.
shit. Which is also, we're not even close to there, but further down the road, a lot of people complain about how the meat, how people are so
Right.
obsessed with. I'm like, dude, look, this is not that fucking off of like people that are knee deep in addiction.
No.
They're about like this. You know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah,
it's a
I
little bit more.
mean, one step shy of like cannibal rape or whatever, right?
Yeah,
But
you know
like,
what
yeah,
I
but
mean?
one step shy, like one
Yeah,
step shy,
yeah,
right? Very,
yeah,
very
yeah.
close.
But yeah, that's
And
one
I
thing
will,
I really did
yeah,
dig about the Kiri. You know what I mean? It's like it's there's fucking consequences to this shit, man.
yeah,
Is it like a
yeah.
necessity for them? Probably because I mean they're literally fucking trying to traverse fucking hellacious fucking landscape as
Mm-hmm.
well as just deal with fucking a foe that will never stop coming at them. So
I actually just a small nugget for anyone listening here too, whatever. And this is something that we shared at Zidon Yanikon among the people who came up, whatever. And I'm not sure if it made it into the books or not because I can't remember the draft from the book sometimes, whatever. Because I read the drafts more than I read the Great Ordeal and Unholy Console. But um, there is a line that might have been cut from the Great Ordeal or the Unholy Console, probably. Um, and it's basically this meeting between Sacharies, like Apparan Sacharies, the first mandate grandmaster, like Metagnostic Cantor, and Akamian, and essentially like Akamian's kind of judging the ordeal for like eating the meat or whatever, and Sacharies says something along the lines to him of like, "You got here somehow. What did you eat?"
yeah, that's
And
in
he's
there.
like calling,
Yeah,
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 yeah, and he's
yeah. It's like
calling
how
him on the
he's like,
fact of
tell me
like,
how did you fucking
yeah. You want to judge us, schoolman or wizard or whatever, right? Like, yeah, what? And it really does because I mean, it's not quite cocaine or whatever, but like literally, like you have to think about it. Like the skinny eaters don't eat. Like they don't, and the stonehags wear away right over the course of this. Like it's literally a bookend of a fucking drug trip in a fantasy novel, which I just find like I find brave as an author for
Yeah,
sure because most
absolutely. I
readers like
appreciate when they go if
won't get
anybody
through
goes
that,
there.
right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All right, okay. So we'll leave the skin eaters for a second. They accumulate the stone eggs. They're getting through the mop. They make it. Oh, I have to actually. You brought this up last time, but I have to mention it while we're doing it. So you talked about how the skin eaters and the regular people going on learn to appreciate Akamian and Cleric, right?
Yeah.
And in Kilologist was one episode. There's this moment when they protect the tower that they're in. They're in the old Maori fortress or whatever, in it's like the old abandoned imperial like redoubt or whatever, and they like sit in a tower all night and they just fucking blast like legions of shank or shrank or whatever for protecting the skin eaters. Do you remember this?
So this is what I remember. I remember this. This is what I remember. For some reason, I put it at. It might be my
It's like
memories.
Fat Wall. It's like the Tower of Fat Wall or
Like,
something, I
cause
believe
I
it's called or whatever.
swear, like
Yeah.
that's like in the beginning of Judging Eye. but I could be completely wrong.
No, that's no. Warrior or White Like Warrior, you mean?
No, judging. That's what I'm saying. Like that's where my memory wants to tell
Oh,
me.
right.
Like
Okay,
that's
I
why
see
I'm
what you're
like
saying. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like this is the problem with like
No, because they get
reading
through
all
part
of
of the
them. Like
mop. Yeah, they get through part of the mop to make it to the Imperial outpost, right? It's like the last Imperial outpost, and then they find out that the Imperials have like left it to join the ordeal, or whatever.
so then he
They
fucking starts
burn
with
what's
Jack. Yeah,
left.
so
Yeah.
I'm just kind of getting the timeline a little
It's
fucking
all right, man.
mixed up. It happens, man. It's so much, you know.
It
That's
is a
why I did
broad,
those
broad book.
spoiler videos, and that's why I love to talk about this shit because it's kind of one of the only ways for me to kind of keep it tight.
Yeah. Anyway, so that scene though, like Cleric and Acamian on the lip of this ruined tower or whatever, and they're just like they stay up all night just fucking decimating like it, you know what you're confusing it with? It's Acamian and his tower,
Yes, that's what I
talking
am.
about
Yep.
exactly. But
That's what I am.
this time it's like Cleric and the the skin eaters and the stone hags whatever really see like who's protecting them, right? Like which is kind of a metaphor for the ordeal in the first place, right? Because I have a friend, Wilshire, and a couple others. I think it was Wilshire who came up with this, whatever. But he was like my number two on the forum, or is my number two, or whatever. But he talks about like it's like the whole ordeal itself is like the meat shield. So you need all the regular men to get them to Galgadarath, whatever. And as we find out later, right, like half the ordeal is taken out at Dagliash, whatever, which we'll get to next time. And then you need the meta meat shield or whatever, which is all the sorcerers needed to get Kellis just close enough to the arc, whatever, right? Because people were like, well, why wouldn't Kellis just go alone? Wait, you're gonna risk one random core from a fucking strength or whatever? No, you're gonna and plus like if Kellis's goals are earnest or genuine, he wants to get up there and actually succeed, right? Like, and we'll get to those things afterwards, ever. Before we finish with the ordeal, because I'm not finished with, but we'll wrap this around. I know that we're probably about like a good clip into our time here. Well, yeah, whatever. This is probably great. Okay, so let's check back in with Monmen for a second. So we've had that first battle with the ordeal. The Scout Boy have made it through Fatwell, whatever, and then they're gonna cut west essentially, like and cut a hard line behind the ordeal to go to Soglish, whatever. And then we have now like we're kind of at that meeting with Inrelatus or Inrelatus and Mathanet or whatever, and which when you read that you're just I think every reader's got to be pumping their fists in terms of like it's like Moengus and Kellis, right? But it's
Yeah,
Mathanet
this is
yeah,
like
right,
fucking
like
watching fucking
the
math.
moment that like Mathanet's like I want to take my nephews with me, and Esminet's like, what do you mean nephews? But obviously Mathanet must be picking on someone on Kelmomus too, right? Because he says nephews, and then as soon as Mathanet walks in there and drops that door jam out and kicks it, I'm like, shit's on. Like, right?
Yeah,
It's
because we
him.
know that was it Kel Momus had that little visit with him, and he had left
First and leaves him the little shaver or whatever, right?
yeah,
Which
the
he
file
knows.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. And so
So
we
this sets
know
this book ends the whole scene, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
so like just getting these guys in fucking the same room together, some shit's gonna go down. But now we know that fucking Imrilitus has got kind of a way out of his chains.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a super like tense moment.
And
Just going into it as the reader, you're like,
well,
oh
even as you go through the books too, like anytime half done yen or done yen undone yen, whatever it is, like that these are like the meat moments of like the series, right? Like if there's a meat for us readers, this is it, right? It's like how do and Bakker he actually has a great set of like questions answered or asked and answered on the old forums and old interviews or whatever. But essentially, he would say that Kellis or any of the Dunyan are how he can think 1% of the time. So like he would take those moments, he would write these Dunyan parts in moments where he felt particularly like cerebral or whatever and cognizant and stuff. So like when he was at his best, he would write those Dunyan on Dunyan moments because Bakker, for anyone who doesn't know whatever, he likes to skip around. He doesn't write in any kind of fucking order. He writes as scenes kind of fit into his. I don't know if you call that a gardener or an architect or something in between or whatever, but that's just a little bit of writing stuff from the man himself, or whatever. Because he really does like, he talks about writing, the whale mothers, for instance, when he was writing Darkness or something, right? Like, which people don't necessarily believe, and that's up to them, or whatever. But I know for a fact he was writing scenes out of order from Thousand Volt Thought when he was writing Darkness and stuff, right? Like, it's just like
Yeah, sure.
it's weird stuff. He's not quintessential that way, but he did say like he only wrote the Dun Yen on Dun Yen scenes when he was at like that 1% of cerebral moment or whatever, which I find very interesting because for us it ends up making it being like hours and hours of teasing out what the fuck is going on, right?
Right.
Because we're not we're barely done yen light or something like lite or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So what do you make of this, Red? What do you make of this interaction here?
Oh,
Because
I
it is
love.
it is kind of the quintessential moment in this book almost.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, so I know some shit's gonna go down, and I do love everything. I mean, this is one of those things. It's like it doesn't mean I didn't have some like fucking negative feelings because like the way shit. This is like it made me hate Kel Momus even more, but that's a good
well,
thing. It's a
get in
good
line.
thing.
Get in line.
You know what I mean? Like, especially because what happens as soon as they leave the room. Um, but I do love this because I feel like it was the first time, for one, you see Mathanet and he knows. He knows like he's there, he's like someone's trying to fuck him, basically. Like he
He
knows it.
just doesn't know it's Calmomus until Inrelatus points it out.
Yeah, and that it's but so he's like hyper aware and he's like regardless of not being 100% sure, he really does like holds his own in front of his fucking nephews. Like and I love that because I also didn't see in Realitas fucking narking out his brother.
Right.
I didn't see that coming. And then boom, you get this Kel Momus moment where like, yeah, he's a child, but like we've been watching him essentially be a psychopath this whole time. And this is really like the first time I saw a weak, like
Yeah.
scared kid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, maybe I can't manipulate my way out of this. Like, oh
Well,
shit,
this
what
was a
did I
new
do?
metaphor for Aspect Emperor or whatever, which I told Baker about or whatever. But the strength, right? He calls the Dunyan blood like the strength or whatever. And he realizes that as much as he's fucking around, he is overmatched by Mathanet and Inrelatus or whatever, Inrelatus or whatever, right? Like and that oh man, that moment, it's almost like you were like, fuck yes, this little bastard's gonna get his fucking
Yep.
comeuppance or whatever, right?
Yep.
Like, and then Inrelatus is just using him as a fucking ploy too. He's not even trying to fuck with his brother. He's trying to get his uncle, right? Like, fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yep. But I'll tell you the truth, like I just as much as like I knew some shit was gonna go down, I guess it was all surprising to me. Like I wasn't expecting in Realitas to die either.
No, I know,
That kind
yeah.
of fucking, kind of came out of fucking left field for me, which I always like I always applaud Baker for this shit. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times where I feel like the story is gonna go, or like oh yeah, this is gonna be heavy, but like that's not gonna go there. Oh no, he's gonna go there. Like he's gonna kill
He
people.
either goes farther than you think or he goes sideways from what you
Yes,
think or something,
exactly.
right?
Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, this
yeah,
is the
yeah.
direction the story's going. And then all of a sudden you get a couple, you're like,
Yeah.
wait, why are we way over here?
As our conversation goes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
just like our conversation.
Yeah, no, it's good. What do you think about so Inrelatus claims that just being and doing, and this gets into like if people want to pursue this, it gets into like high level philosophy and stuff, whatever. But Inrelatus claims that I shit when I shit means that he resembles like the god the most, or whatever, right? Because a lot of this is an argument about who's the like Escalise, I believe, in this book has that metaphor to Sorewheel where he breaks the vase with the like the little vase inside of the river, and it's like everyone's shards, goes back to Mamara's metaphor about Nair later and stuff, whatever. But some people are mighty shards, some people are small slivers, but Kellis is like the urn in
In the middle.
or
Yeah.
macrocosm to the microcosm, or whatever, right? But Inrelatus claims that at least that he is the version of that because he just does what he does when he does it or some shit, right?
Right.
Like, which goes, I mean, for me, it really is like it's White Luck Warrior esque, but it is something to think about, right? Like what and this is often. I mean, again, you haven't read Neuropath, I don't think yet, or whatever, but it's something like where is I think this is Baker's long form argument is like, where is the space for like personal agency or something, if there is personal agency or whatever, right? Like are we choosing to even do this, or are the greater reds and greater madnesses
Right,
just
right. Is
fucking
this something that is fucking
yeah.
predetermined? Is this a fucking like a god fucking like control? Are you
I'm
a
enjoying my
puppet?
time with you, by the way. It's a privilege to fucking be predetermined with you if that's the case or
Yes, I
something,
know. Isn't
but
it funny? It's like, hey,
yeah.
we were gonna do this no matter fucking what, but we doesn't mean we can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
ah,
Okay, well, anyways, in Relatus Shanks Mathanet. That's an amazing scene. I
yes,
hope that,
absolutely
obviously anyone
glorious
listening
fucking
has
scene.
read through. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. As soon as he fucking calls out Calmomas, and then those chains whip off the fucking wall because he's like shaved them down and stuff. And like, and to be fucking honest, like Mathanet like reminds me of a real Tyson right here or something. Like he fucking takes it and just like, well, fuck you, nephew. Like, what does he say? Soft bones. He's like,
Yeah,
soft bones, just like your mother's, after he
yeah,
like
something.
fucking pounds his nephew's fucking skull to shit. And then he walks into that room knowing that the system of culture that Kellis is like erected around Esminet and around him, he has to go to war. Like he doesn't have a fucking choice. He's like, I'm walking into this room and I've just killed like the aspect emperor's son and stuff, whatever. Like, yeah, like this is civil war in fucking Monmen River, right? Like, and Esminet is gonna take it exactly that. All she says is like, you killed my son. Like, that's all the proof I needed, right? The Kelmomus made that lie true because
Yep.
Kelmomus is a little fucking asshole,
Yeah, and this is
right?
like
But like,
that's that moment,
yeah,
man, when I'm like, God damn it, kill moments, you little shit.
right. Like, none of this was even a thing, and then you made it a thing, you little bastard. Oh my goodness. All right, very good. Okay, and then so we got a couple of things to touch on here, whatever. But what do you think about the subsequent fucking civil what, so Esminet
Yeah,
obviously
because it kind of like we
obviously
get a
Esminet's
split, right? Because
outmatched.
the two people that have
Yeah,
basically been running Moment are now not, they're on opposite
right.
sides. And fucking Esminet, isn't it Esminet that goes into hiding? Like
Well, so what
Mathanet's
happens
kind
is
of pulls
obviously,
the fucking like the
yeah,
power.
yeah, no,
He
no.
grabs the power
Mathanet,
and
she's like, she says to her guards, whatever, like to the Ethiopic guard, whatever, the guard that she inherited from Zenimus, or no, sorry, Xerius. Not Zenimus. Zenimus, rest in peace. No, yeah. So she like tells the guard, like the Imperial guard, to arrest him, and he's like basically like, stop me if you can, essentially, right? And he ends up like getting out of there, obviously, whatever. But the Striel Knights are loyal to him, right?
yep.
So there, that system is in place, and the Thousand Temples and stuff. So it's kind of like him having his own like Vatican army or whatever, right? Like the Swiss Guard and stuff. And very quickly, obviously, like he and again, for my part, I actually do kind of believe in the good guy Mathanet story or whatever, right? Like, I actually think that he probably wanted to preserve the imperial mantle and stuff, and like, but Esminet runs. She like, this is where she goes hiding out, whatever, and she trusts, like, I think that this is more Im Hallis or whatever, like the captain of the Athletic Guard or whatever. I think
Yeah.
his fear kind of gets into her head or whatever. But anyways, and then she goes and hides out with his whore or whatever, right? And then this is where people get, and no offense, these people can fuck themselves or whatever, because this is what literature is or whatever. But a lot of these readers get really like, they skip these parts even, where like Esminet has to go and like hide out with Nari and stuff, whatever,
Yeah.
right? And like, and I don't. Baker's trying to write like capital L, quote unquote, literature, right? Like, yes, it's fantasy, yes, it's couched in that, but he is speaking to a certain demographic. And
Sure.
realistically, like, these things, I mean, I love that. Whatever. I just want to sing the praises for this storyline, whatever. But anyway, so people get bored with this, but she goes and hides out, and Mathanet, does his best to kind of clean up the pieces and now he knows it's Kelmomas too, right? And even then, when he finally hooks up with Esmond again, he tells her like, I know he's hiding in the like the secret walls of whatever of the I don't know if you've ever read Orson Scott Card, but
No.
in Ender's Game and
But I mean, I
and
know of his work. Yeah.
okay, yeah, in Ender's Game and the subsequent Bean series, the Shadow series, whatever, there essentially is a version of this, whatever, where like it's on a space station, mind you, whatever, but there's like inner walls, whatever, and people can go and like, see, like, I don't know if Baker cribbed that from that or whatever. I like the homage anyways, even if Baker didn't mean it. But anyways, Mathanet knows that he's like hunting around or whatever. So literally, like Imhalis, like Captain Imhalis tells Esminet, like, let's just go hide out. We'll see whatever. Mathanet just takes control, right? Because he knows, as he says at the end of the book, that Kellis, like, we're both alone. Like Kellis left us alone together, right? And he knew that the Empire was going to fail in some fashion. It didn't matter who was at the helm, right? Like, and
Yep.
obviously, like, we'll next time we'll get to TGO and we'll start exploring these conversations, whatever. But in this moment, um, yeah, I think Mathanet is. I think the good guy Mathanet theory plays out. I think like he is earnest in supporting his brother, honoring his dad's legacy, like among the elders' legacy, even if Kellis did shank their dad or whatever. And then so yeah, so she hides out for a little bit. And we might as well bookend this now as we move on to the last two or whatever. But uh, with this, so then finally like Esminet's got like she's taken on the it's like the Martin Cersei crawl or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like
Shame.
yeah, she's dragged to the to the religious center of the city and whatever. And for Mathanet's part, like once he realized that Esminet really had no clue and she didn't understand like the role Kelmomus was playing and stuff, he like instantly forgives her, right? Like he instantly is like, no, like we need to reunite here, whatever, blah blah. And then sure as shit, our boy the White Luck Warrior,
Yeah, it
fucking,
shows up.
and this is his book, obviously, right? This is
Right.
his introduction, and
Right.
we have all the metaphysics of that, which we can talk about a little bit if you want to, or whatever. But I think it's self-explanatory for people. But he appears from, I forget how she words it, but like it appears from the one place he's always been, right? The one overlooked kind of
Yeah,
area
yeah.
of the room or whatever, right?
Which is kind of his thing, right? He's just always there. He's like
Yeah, well, as Kalmomus, a teaser for next time, or whatever. But
yeah.
as Kalmomus learns, or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
all
And
right,
dude, that's a heartbreaking moment because at least maybe depends on where you lie, like with that Mathanet deal. I personally totally agree. Like I think Mathanet might have been one of the only good fucking guy characters, like good guys, like which was a real sad moment to see him get fucking stabbed the fuck up,
especially right on the edge of that reuniting or whatever,
because
right?
that's the thing is like you can kind
Yeah,
of already draw some conclusions that he's at least a more decent fucking person than the rest. And like you said in the last discussion, he might be maybe possibly the one, half Dunye, but he's found much more balance with everything than any other. He doesn't seem like a cracked plate, as Serwa would, like as Serwa
yeah,
puts
yeah,
it. And so he seems like he's pretty like he also so with that, I never really felt like I'm sure there was like some level of deception, you know what I mean? Just getting into the fucking 3Cs and everything, because he just comes out of nowhere. So I'm sure there's some there, but for the most part, like you said, he's trying to kind of follow his father's like thing, right? And then and
yeah,
he knows to wait for his brother to show up.
yeah,
And fuck it, so then he follows his brother. And then when he realizes his brother is going to leave him to just get fucked, he tries to make things happen with Esmond. Like he's just going to
yeah,
try, like,
yeah,
and then when he fucking gets killed, part of me went, well, the hope that could have been in this series just
right,
went out the window,
right.
guys. Like, get ready because
Well,
I
and we have that famous, because I have more two more kind of things to end on here, or whatever. But like that famous and like tell my brother, right? And he gets cut off, and like we all think that he wants to tell his brother, or at least I think this is the consensus. I don't know. Other readers will have other opinions, or whatever. I'm sure, or whatever. But probably what it was to tell his brother that he sees the oscillating souls of like Sir Marmus and Kelmomus, whatever, right? He's like, you gotta warn my brother about his fucking son being an absolute like what he what he ends up being. Like,
woo.
yeah. Yeah, that's another ride. That's another ride for sure. Anyways, but Esminet, to her credit, immediately like takes ownership of it. Says like blames it on Kellis. Like who else but Kellis could fucking kill the Shria, in his Vatican or whatever, essentially, right?
Well,
Yeah,
she
and
starts like,
then
what does she do? She starts, what do they call it?
speaking
Speaking
oil.
oil. So she comes
Yeah,
down on Mathanet or whatever, right?
yeah,
And like, oh, it's kind of brutal because you're like, oh, they just made up, and now she's got to like flip her fucking story and
yeah,
fucking spit venom.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked because honestly, it's funny that you mentioned that people don't like that one section with Esminet. I feel like it's very important for one because you have the Empress or whatever basically having forced to like she's in hiding and through that she's kind of forced to look at herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Self-reflection time,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
You know what I
Well, you
mean?
know what? Maybe maybe that's the joke. No offense to the readers out there, or whatever, but maybe that is the trick. Is like you don't like self-reflection or self-awareness,
Yeah,
right?
it could, and
Readers
it
who have,
could be. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
why
yeah,
you know maybe you want something more. I'm not going to throw the author's name out there, but because that's maybe a little fucked. But
whatever, yeah, yeah.
but like you know, say so and so author is going to bring you the fun fantasy adventure. You know,
Yeah, this is
it's
we're just getting started here. We're just
yeah.
getting started. This is
This is
not
a
the fun.
real fucking thing. Like that's how I put. You know, it's not.
You know what? Honestly, I'm just gonna put this out there, or whatever. But like, the only alternative to reading a book like this is getting beaten by a book. Like literally, you get the same experience as a physical book, like just hitting you or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Well, one
Like,
thing I've always appreciated is I feel like this series really follows like our own history better than any other fantasy. I not that I've read every piece of fantasy, so there could
sure,
be, you know what I mean. There could be other shit out there, but it's if as far as like not historical fantasy, actual just fantasy world, because it's a secondary world, everything. It fucking reminds me so much of our own
mm,
fucking, you know, history. Like it's brutal at fucking times, and maybe, like you said, maybe some people don't want to remember that. Some people don't want to
sure. I
reflect
assume
on
that's
the
the
fact
case,
that
right?
human
Like,
beings can be as just a big a piece of shit as they can be decent, you know? And surely we were some big pieces of shit in the past, man. Or
hand up, yeah. That's all I'll say
I
about
mean, I was
that.
just watching
Okay,
this
so
Western
no,
show,
go
and
on.
I not to go off, but like the thing is I'm watching how people like when people die, it affects them in the moment, like the people around them, but like shortly after, they don't. It's like we're back to living life because that's the way shit is. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
don't got
yeah.
time to fall apart every time you know my family, one of my family members dies. Because guess what? Another one's dying 3 months from now. It's fucking
Yeah,
brutal, and I feel like
I will
Baker.
say because we've covered a whole bunch of like heavy topics like that too, whatever. You know, just to bookend that, like we really do sanitize death in the modern like world, right? And
Big time.
unfortunately, you know, again, like trigger warning, and everyone like you know, I would list hotlines and everything, but like seek comfort and help if you have like deaths or addiction in your life and stuff, whatever. But no, literally, like it for the people who have experienced it, and especially people who have experienced it in you know a lot in their lives, it really does come down to the fact of no, this is for keeps, right? Like this is you know, and I'm sorry if a book offended you or whatever, but like wait till you meet real life or whatever, right?
Right, right.
Like
Don't ever
yeah.
read anything about Roman history.
You know, or whatever. Yeah, pick a point in history and do some
Yeah, like
bibliomancy, right?
Jesus
Like, yeah, yeah.
Christ, dude.
Oh my goodness, hey, the Bible itself, for God's sakes,
That's
right?
another one, and that's
Like,
one thing
yeah,
I felt like I saw that in these books. You know, that biblical
yeah.
aspect, not just in how they're written, but also the Bible. Some people might not realize like there's some very vicious shit in the Bible,
Mhm.
man.
I've read it back to front twice in my life. Once when I was younger, and once when I was in university or whatever. But yeah. Okay, so before we end that point, because I do have two more if you have enough time here or whatever. But for Esminet, she does all that, and then the drums.
Yes,
And then the
the wolves are
phantom
at the
drum.
door. The wolves
Yeah,
are at the
right.
door.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know what Baker had in his head, or whatever, but every reader has to decide for themselves, like what beat is going, or whatever. But just like that first, like, dun,
Yeah,
like,
dude.
yeah.
Like as if the moment couldn't fucking get much like fucking
Hey,
tense
the
or
world
worse.
conspires.
It's
The
just
world
like
conspires.
it's
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
it's once again it's just like our skin eaters coming out of Solages and going into it's out of the frying pan into the fucking fire.
well, we're going to them next, but
And
yeah.
I swear this was because for the for with these two books, I felt like this is when I normally like the moment thread was the problem my least favorite, but when we started getting into this shit, I was like, dude, he's heated up the moment thread so much. I'm
Mm-hmm.
fucking loving everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
Mhm.
like, oh, let's get back to the ordeal, or let's get back to the
Well, and we're only halfway through the Aspect Emperor as a whole, right? And
right.
if you look at his stuff as one book, right, it's like you're getting into the meat of like the density. This is why I bring up the Warrior Prophet comparison, right? It's why look Warrior and TGO are just like two halves of the same kind of thing there. Okay, you brought up the scalpers, which is perfect because that was my second to last one. Uh, so we get them through the muff. They go on this journey. They have that moment where they kill some of the ordealsmen because they can't let word of their passing, or at least the Camion and the captain think they can't let word of their passing get back to the ordeal. Not that I'm sure that it would have mattered if
Right.
like the ordeal, like Kellis already fucking knows probably that they're out
Well,
there
and that's
somewhere, or
what I'm
whatever, right?
wondering. I'm like,
Yeah.
like it's weird for me for the captain, right? Because then we kind of find out about the captain. Isn't he Zadanyani?
Yeah. This is on the way. Like, so him and Mamara get in, and this is, by the way, something that we've missed since the Warrior Prophet with Kellis with Nair and Sarcellus. That there's Bakker doesn't do them often, but when he does a sword fight, they're fucking cool as shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this about Erickson either, but he was a fencer for a long time, or
Oh,
whatever,
was
right?
he?
Yeah. So he whatever. But I don't know about Bakker. I don't know his, but like obviously he knows sword fights or whatever. So I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Erickson was a fencer for a while, I believe. Anyways, the yeah, when Mamara and the captain start getting into it, because this is when like they've got Akamian like drugged and dragged, right?
Yeah,
So
there he's
they
like
first they
gagged and
had yeah
everything.
yeah, and then they're like kicking him along and stuff, and they
Fucking
only
yeah,
take
they're
off his
giving him the
yeah,
rough go, dude.
they only take off his gag to be like, "Where are we?" And he like remembers from the dreams where the stars were in the certain, and he's like, "Yeah." Anyways, so finally, Mamara wants to like whatever, and yeah, they had the little sword fight or whatever, and then yes, then Coaster and she opens the eye, and this is where another thing is too, and I have a question for you here or whatever, but the eye opens whatever, and they all kneel before or whatever, and they're all like damned Coaster being the most damned, essentially, whatever. But it doesn't. She doesn't see him like. So in TUC, she sees Sorewheel with the judging eye, and she calls her an actual chiff rank. She calls Nair a prince of hell or whatever.
Yeah,
But
Prince of
she
Hell.
doesn't. Yeah, but she doesn't make that note about Coaster, and so this kind of fucks with like people wonder if Coaster's a decapitated or not, right? Like people, they wonder if and I don't know what I think about that answer. Whether he's just like really damned, and Kellis when Sorrel tells Mamara, because he tells her this somewhere in this period, whatever, he's like the story of what is his name, Ironhide or something, or Iron something,
Hmm.
Iron Soul. Yeah. And Kellis like declares him that after like he massacres some village, and Kellis comes and looks in his eyes, and he's like, "Yep, okay, cool. You're this, whatever, right?" Like I'm not sure whether to think if he's just captain or if he's just like a really, really sociopathic or like psychopathic individual or whatever,
Yeah, for
right?
me, I remember
Or
being like he's a
uh,
Sith Rang or something. Like he's a fucking demon. But
there's so many clues, but it doesn't. In that moment, I'm not sure if that's the case.
even
And then
after reading
Sorrel
this thing twice, I still feel like he's a fucking mystery to me. It's
Well,
weird.
Sorrel also says like sometimes the dead bounce, right?
And that's the thing is it's not just the captain giving off those vibes, it's the shit that Sorrow says. And the reason why I kind of go into like most people be like, well, Sorrow's lost his fucking mind. He's insane.
Yes. Right.
But I feel like that's the perfect opportunity for Bakker to
To
slip in
slip in.
the
Yeah.
reality of the fucking
Mm-hmm.
situation. Because I've literally watched In Relatis, who is crazy as
Yeah.
fuck, say some very profound shit.
Yeah.
Many folks think that Nair Erskiotha is a madman. So, like, look, and he has
Yeah.
spoken plenty
Well,
truth.
even Nair has that thought and thousand world thought about like Akamian's like little parchment water bead trick or whatever, and it's like when the bead breaks, it's just a question of divine or demonic or whatever, right?
Mm.
Like whatever inhabits
Mm.
you or inhibit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to move through this the clip. We have to spend at least, I don't know how much time you have left or whatever. I'm trying to clock you because you said you had some more today or whatever. But
Yeah, not for a
uh,
bit, though.
okay, good. Soglish. We have to talk
Yeah.
about
So, wait, like, we
Soglish.
get there, right? But, like,
Like,
this is by the time we got there, we have had that conversation. And I'm pretty sure it happens while a commune is I love that you say a camion. That's how I used to say it. And then
Sure.
I feel like I got bullied into saying a commune, and I swear a camion is the
Whatever.
right. Anyway, a commune
Whatever.
is yeah,
This is half the fun. We know
but
this,
yeah,
Red. This is
but
half the fun. Yeah.
Mamara has the conversation with Cleric, and then we find out he's Nilgeekus or Nilgeekas or
Well,
whatever.
funny enough, I love this point too that people don't pick up on. She shaves her head
Yes.
legitimately to remind him of a non-woman or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing is like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
when I first read this, I was like, "Fuck, dude, this journey has really done a number on my Mara." It's like she's fucking shaving her head like Britney Spears here. Like, well, fuck, you know, like, but yeah, no, you start to realize like it's like she's trying to get through. Like I think my Mara's pretty fucking smart.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very competent like woman, and she knows what the fuck. Like she knows that they're running out of fucking time, and she's got to get some
Well,
answers.
and query or whatever, right? They're
Yeah,
running out of
like she's
query.
got to get she needs some fucking answers, you know. And then yeah, finding out that we have was it the last non-man king
Yep.
is in their
No
presence.
Geekas. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
last king of Isturbith. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Which you know his name might not mean a bunch like right out the gate to you, but like knowing that he's a non-man king is pretty fucking big. And then we will
Well,
kind of
I think anyone who read the Thousandfold Thought glossary, right, and like read the Kuno and Corey Wars and stuff,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
like it is a name literally plucked from history, right? Like, yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
And so well, that so we still don't know what the fucking Kiri is though. Uh not yet, right? Or no, he does tell her.
I think we figured. So first, she figures out what the Curie is, and then she figures out who Cleric is, whatever. And I don't know, and this is for the clever eared readers, whatever. But I still can't figure out what Incarial means, whatever. They say it's like the Wanderer or whatever, right? In ancient, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I did
anyways,
kind of wonder because we get Incarial, then we get Cleric, then we get Nilgeekus. It's all the
yeah,
same
yeah,
dude, but it's like, yeah, it is fun. That is an interesting thing. I wonder what the whole Incarial thing, like, why didn't we
yeah.
just call him Cleric
We'll
from?
leave that for the clever
Yeah, yeah,
listeners, or
yeah.
whatever.
Let
But
the
yeah, yeah.
smarty pants
Yeah,
figure that one out.
but yeah, Akamian's still tied up at this point, and then obviously they only so he knows when they untie him to go to Soglish, and then he tells some lie about the fact that there's
The
some
wards,
wards.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like he
yeah.
knows he needs to get in there, and like they're not
Well,
gonna
he
just,
knows he needs to go alone with Cleric. He
yeah,
knows
yeah.
like he
And
thinks
so
he can
like,
appeal. Yeah.
how can I fucking word this to get?
Another one of those moments in this series where like you know that like Baker could just take you in a whole different direction, like high fantasy style, but obviously it's not because it's Baker. But like when when Akamian kneels down in front of Neil Gaikus and like he has his like you know not sanity or whatever, but he has his like sentience for a second or whatever. Like he knows that Neil Gaikus is Neil Gaikus in that moment. And he like bows down. He's like, "Let me be your book. Let me be your
Yeah,
Seswatha or whatever." And then it's like that could have been a whole different story
yeah,
where like
absolutely.
Cleric wakes up, right, and like they go off and they like he's part of that quest, but he's like you don't understand, like my memory is too fragmented or whatever, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
it really like
heartbreaking in the extreme, right?
what could
Like
have gone one way really does go the other because he kind of just
yeah,
wakes up the fucking the bad like because that's the thing. The only thing they're gonna remember is the bad shit, right? Like the pain
yeah,
and
the
all
trauma,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah, yeah,
trauma. So it's like
yeah. Well, even the whole thing in White Lake Warrior, right? I think people don't understand this, but we talked about trauma last time and stuff, and I think we talked about it a little bit this time. But you know, and again, this is like unsettled science or whatever. But the idea that like um, for whatever reason, we remember trauma, more viscerally or more immediately. You can easily recall that, and as non-men live, tens of thousands of years, it kind of is the thing that sticks with them, whatever. But you almost wonder if that's the reason why Cleric was with the scalpers in the first place, is because he knows he can get to know them and then they're gonna die, right? So like he's using these humans to like form memories over and over and over again or whatever, right? Like yeah.
that's it.
But
That's
and in
actually a
this
pretty good take.
case,
I like that.
yeah, in this case though, we find the spore of dragons, and we
Yeah, so
finally get
that's what's
our
fucking dope,
Raku.
right? So
Yeah,
they're going in there and it's like hits you with like the fucking place is kind of
the
fucked up and
sulfur.
there's the
This
burrow
yeah
it like burrowed in
yeah
and then he hits you with the sulfur smell and you're like what and it's just like that one word raku and you're like
yeah.
oh fuck. And then I think it kind
Yeah.
of switches like a bit there, but I mean, we don't need to like follow the book. It's just that moment is pretty badass. At least it was for
It's like
me.
where the fantasy. Someone else said this, whatever, not me, whatever. But another reader that I've talked to a lot over the years, whatever. But he said this is where like the fantasy element of this, even though there's been magic and everything, whatever. Like it's like this is where it's like holy shit, this is a fucking fantasy novel, or like this
Yeah.
is a set of fantasy books, or right? Like we got fucking dragons in here now, right?
Yeah. And
Like
I think anyone that's been reading the book is fucking stoked to see fucking Raku. Like, cause we've
yeah,
heard about him. We know about him. We've seen their iron skeletons and shit. But to actually fucking get to see a living, breathing one, that's what's up. So now we're in Soglish, the library.
yeah,
We're
oh yeah, the father of dragons. That's what
Yeah,
we're
the
saying.
father of
Yeah,
dragons, man. And that's the thing is like, we don't, I mean, I don't know we're about to meet the father of dragons. I just know we're about to meet a dragon and I'm already
right.
excited. And then for the people that have been reading the series and know plenty about Tolkien, obviously are going to once again kind of get hit with that fucking Bakker homage of Smaug, you know what I mean? Which to me, I fucking love because Smaug is like, probably besides Puff the Magic Dragon, Smog is in maybe Pete's Dragon. Smog is like the first fantasy fucking dragon I probably ever knew of. You know, like the Rankin Boss cartoon of the Hobbit or whatever was a huge part of my
Yeah,
childhood. So this
yeah.
scene is
Rotoscope.
is so fucking amazing. So amazing. So we're getting hit, right? Like I said, anyone that's been reading this has been probably chomping at the bit, and I was no different.
Waiting for a Raku. Yeah,
Yeah,
waiting for
and the
Raku.
fucking dialogue, not just the dialogue that we get between the characters, but we're also kind of like Bakker unloads information on us that I feel like was just amazing. You know, like
Mm,
oh, now we know that fucking Raku never stopped growing. They just
mhm.
keep growing and growing and growing and growing. And so, you know, of course, King of Dragons is fucking huge.
Yeah. Well,
But he,
also that he was used as the template essentially for like the other weapon race dragons or
yeah.
Raku that yeah.
And the one line that he tells them, he's like, not even the black heaven commands me. Oh man, that shit had me rolling. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
which is another thing that we're gonna have to talk about, like at a later date, obviously. But it's something that comes up there, and we assume him. Right, I assume him, anyways, to mean the no god, right? To mean like the idea of like when the no god walks and commands the weapon races, or whatever. But it's almost like, and this is a joke we have among the community or whatever. But the Encore when they were on their journey to Irwa or whatever, went by the Transformers planet or whatever,
Yeah,
and then
Cybertron.
yeah, they went by Cybertron, and then Wuchat is like the Cybertron, the Raku, whatever. Yeah, but he because like Bakker describes him as mechanical and hell sustaining within. He has like iron bones or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, but
Something
he's
like that,
also like
like
rot, like he's like rotting and shit.
rotting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love that. Like this, he's basically dead, but he can't die until the end or some shit. Like that's what he keeps telling
yeah.
him. He's like,
He's like, is the world yet dead?
yeah,
He's
is
like,
it over?
yeah,
Because I
yeah,
like, but it's like until then, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like he's
yeah.
just rotting away. But so the
So
even
he's kind of an X factor too. Like after he gets out, just a punchline that or whatever. But like if he's blind and deaf after Akamian and Neil Gaikus fuck him
oh
up, or
yeah,
whatever.
what a
Yeah, yeah.
fucking
But
fight.
Aaron the No God doesn't call him. That means that he's just like a rogue fucking dragon flying around river somewhere, right?
Dude, and
Like,
that's scary as fuck. And I think a lot of people might not be thinking about that by the end of the series because you're just so fucking like, holy fuck.
but he's still out there. Yeah, he's
Because the
still
thing
fucking out
is
there.
like I was wondering if we weren't gonna. I thought we were gonna see him again. You know,
I thought he was going to sense the No God, but as you
I
said, like the Black Heavens don't
yeah,
command
and
him.
that's the
So
thing, and that's what I
yeah.
love about it. And it's one of those things like your expectations or what seems very clearly could happen might not. You know, and that's
Yes.
another perfect.
Either one step further or sideways,
Yeah,
right?
I still love
Yeah.
the somebody said it once, and I've just really like grabbed onto it and made it my own as well. And it's like the theory that one day Sorrel will return on the back of Wutiat. It's it saved the world.
Oh my goodness.
But you know,
Oh wait, with the captain's head braided
yeah,
in his
with the
beard, right?
captain's
Yeah,
head
with the
fucking
captain's head
swinging
braided.
around, dude. Oh god damn it. But with all, with jokes aside, uh this fucking like this thing that goes down is amazing because like you said, he like the fucking Incoroi, like no one's commanding this guy. So like why would he let a commune, and the commune's
Right.
fucking there
Well,
trying to get
we would be doing a disservice to our watchers and listeners if we didn't bring up the whole punchline of the conversation is that Neil Gaius says it plays you, right? Because he's like, is not truth infinite, right? Like he's getting Akamian to like tell the story. And Akamian tells the story about Nair and the Dunya, and he does this whole fucking series deep dive for Wutiat or whatever. And then at the end, he's like, is that enough truth? And like Wutiat's like, is not truth infinite? Like, right?
yeah.
Like and Neil Gaius like he plays you. He's just fucking with you, man. Like he's not gonna give up because they're looking for, and this is kind of like the punchline to this book almost, remember, but they're looking for that scroll from his dream, right?
Yep.
From the Judge and
Want the
I dream
map
that we
to
talked
Ishwal.
about. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
and Neil Gaius says Wuchiaz, he's not gonna give up with one piece of his hoard, right?
Yeah, and that's
Like
what Wutia tells him. He's like,
yeah,
"Why should I? Why should I fucking
yeah.
give you one coin of my what I have here? Like, there's no, you know." Oh man, and I can't ever. I'll have to go back and maybe read it a couple times just to burn it into my head. But there is this like lines that it's kind of like his rebuttal or whatever to a comedy, he's like, "So something becomes, scripture or whatever." Fuck
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like there's some of the things he says are very like kind of cryptic, but at the same time, like they're very easy riddles to solve. At least easy enough for you to form your own thoughts on them. Maybe not
Sure.
actually have them figured out, but there's when he talks, it's cryptic, but it opens up plenty of avenues for you to take it as whatever. But then we get into the actual action of it, right? Like the fucking what I do love about this, how it sets up though, too, is because I kind of feel like I almost forgot that Cleric was there for a minute because of the back and forth between a commune. It's Cleric just kind of steps in and he's like, fucking, you're gonna hear my sermon, you Raku
Yeah,
Jeroy. And it
yeah.
reminds me of like just like fucking WWF almost, where it's like two guys are having it, and all of a sudden another guy comes out, and everyone's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And then they really do get into it, man. And some of the descriptions of them casting fucking spells at fucking Wutia and they're turning him like orange. He's glowing orange because the metal, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's so fucking amazing. But
I think
Wutia,
there's a lot of
he's
unanswered
no,
questions there for sure. Yeah,
he's no
absolutely.
slouch though either. It's not like these guys just walk in and fucking walk over him. Even though he's damn near dead already, he still fucking gives them a run for their money. Buries their
Yeah.
ass under fucking treasure, sets a trap
Yeah.
for them. And
Yeah.
realistically, if they couldn't have come together in that moment, they would have died down there. So, like fucking a commune is super fucking lucky that he managed to get a fucking non-man who's erratic essentially, right? Like fuck, he's gone to fucking play ball for just that minute. But this is
I mean, we've talked about this too when we talked last time about when they meet in the pub there and Judge and I or whatever. But and again, there is the line like the world conspires or whatever, right? But it really does seem like that's the only way it could have happened, right? Like you came in, you weren't gonna fucking make it to Soglish without Queric, right?
right.
There's no way, or Query, or without Quajaris and Moy, whatever, right? Like, okay. Before we leave this part quickly, I do want to ask like a 0.5 question, whatever. But so, anyways, they get out. Doom, should you find me broken? Right? They get the scroll. They get the map to Ishwell, essentially, whatever. And then Akamian, obviously has to fight Cleric, which is like heartbreaking,
Yes.
right? Like, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. After everything, he's like, nope. Like, and I love the line. Nilgicus was only casting cants, and Akamian was only casting wards, right?
Yeah,
And then,
dude. And
and
you
then
can
he
really
just, and
see
then
that.
yeah, and then he just hits him. so one's defensive, one's offensive, and the Cayman's weathering like the brunt of a non-man Kua or whatever, right? And the last king or whatever. And then just in that moment, he hits him with like just a push,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's just like,
Because he
yeah,
kind of
and
he realizes too while during that he's like he's coming at me with all he's like coming at me with everything. But why and why? Because he's literally like giving me the
he wants
chance.
to die.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he's
wants
giving
to.
me the
Yeah,
window
yeah,
to sneak
yeah,
through and fucking end it.
yeah.
You know,
And then this is also
but he
before
doesn't
we
want
get
to
to
take it.
Mamara. Well, yeah,
He doesn't want
pardon.
to take it. So, like you said, he just gives him that little fucking like novarotic push or whatever.
Yeah. Well, again, non-men don't kill. We'll talk about this next book or whatever, but non-men don't kill themselves, right? It's
Yeah,
suicide
yep,
is
and
yeah,
that's a brutal part of their lore, really, when you start to get to
yeah.
like the pain that they and what
Well,
just the
we'll
suffering
save
they
that one for
endure.
next time for sure. But
Sure.
this is also the only instance of death came swirling up, I believe, or one of the only instances. Instead of death came swirling down, death came swirling up, which I've always tried to tease out what he was trying to do with that,
Huh.
whatever. But
That's
yeah,
interesting. That is interesting. I swear I've seen him kind of mix it up before, not with the down part, but swirling and spiraling. I swear I've
yeah,
seen
yeah. Maybe that for
I've
sure.
seen
Yeah,
him switch that up, and I always wondered if there was a like a if that was just to mix things up and keep it not so repetitive, or if it was actually like there's a little
mm.
crazy Bakker seed in there
Okay,
too.
so real quick before we finish off, because I have one last thing to do with you before you've got a busy day, I know, but
I do.
yeah, that's good. That's good, Red. We appreciate it. I promise you. Um, so then Mamara and forgiveness. So we have the whole like the camp setting where like like
Dude,
they have
that's
the
a
fight.
brutal time to be so forgiving. I swear, like because while all that shit's going down with the dragon, you got the remaining skin eaters and the captain
Yeah,
and the fucking like
they want to rape her or
they're
whatever,
gonna
and
rape
that's
they're
yeah.
gonna rape
And,
the
and she
princess.
but she says to Galleon, she says to him like if you don't do this one final act, like you won't be doomed to the hells or something. Is it
Right,
something
because
like
she's
paraphrase that?
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like it's crazy because with the power of the eye, it's almost like it's like she's able to take herself completely out of the situation and not see like even though she knows what's about to go down, she's trying to warn him not to do it. But
right.
like you said, it's like where she finds like she's overwhelmed and wants to fucking forgive him because she's seen the
Yeah,
fucking the
you don't understand.
damnation or
Like
whatever.
she
It's
literally
like,
warns him. She's like, you don't
bro,
know what's coming for
the
you. Like,
sight of you is so fucking terrifying that I'm not even going to think about the fact you're trying to rape me right now. I'm just going to try to warn you to fucking save yourself. You know,
yeah,
like
no,
wow. It's pretty intense, man. And it's a dark part of the book of an already very dark book, but this I
mm-hmm.
could see where people, it might put a fucking rumble in their stomach and make them feel uneasy, uh
Well, yeah, fuck, man.
it's
It, it,
it's pretty fucking brutal, right?
I'm gonna say right off the gate, like I have no idea what Baker's life was like, and I don't think it included things like that, or whatever. But he obviously has met some like very, very damaged and broken and hard people at there, or whatever, right? Like, yeah, like, he writes them too well not to have known them in his life, or whatever, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
yeah,
agree. I'd
it
agree.
is, yeah. Okay, so right before I leave that too, any thoughts on the captain and Sorrow there?
Yeah, so then that was, I guess, what kind of, at least this first time around, it's just surprised me, I guess, like the captain just all of a sudden dies, and I was like, by one of his own, like one of the skin eaters, right? Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
team up, they kill him, and I was kind
It's
of like, wait,
it's Zonxus. I think it's
I'm
the
kind of like, what? Like,
Zayanu
what the fuck
Archer
just
or whatever.
happened? They just killed the
Yeah,
captain? Like, but I think the thing that got me even more was Sorrel. So because Sorrel takes the head, you know what I mean, and he's fucking like
sawed
cradling
off.
in
Yeah,
everything, and then
yeah,
eventually we see him braid the fucker into his beard.
right.
It's a weird. It's all like I'm all over the place with that scene just because so much is going on. Uh, but
Well, in
it was
heads
a
like
weird end for me. Still, even after reading it twice, it felt like a weird end for the captain. But once again, it's one of those things where I'm so conditioned by reading so much fantasy that I just expect these certain avenues to be taken. And Bakker doesn't do that. He's just
yeah.
gonna fucking rant, like you said, he's going sideways sometimes. And you're like, what the fuck?
we'll come back to this or whatever, but as of the end of this, Sarl and his fucking beard head are still out there somewhere too,
Yeah,
right?
and you
So
know
I'm
what? I
sure
have
we'll
to like with all this dark and horrible shit that goes down, that like when Mamara and Kamian kind of go back in, they get the fucking like to search for the map and or whatever, and they see Sorrel kind of spying on them. For one, I kind of got like Golem vibes, like
Yeah, oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
fucking
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was kind of like Golem in a way. And but that moment where they're burning Nilgikas or whatever, and the fucking Mymar captures the fucking leaf and puts a
Yeah,
little Kiri in there and just leaves
yeah,
it for and
yeah.
like Kami's like we know she's leaving it for Sorrow, but like Kami's like, why'd you do that? And she's like, I don't even know. Like,
Right. It does you're totally right about it. It's like Gandalf and Frodo and like Gollum vibes or whatever, right? Like
big
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And I guess like for
So
me, it's just like I really appreciated that moment. It felt like such an endearing, like kind of thing to happen after such
she is supposed to be perhaps the prophetess or whatever, right?
right.
Like we don't know whatever, but yeah.
Well, she definitely,
Um,
yeah, she's more forgiving than anybody on this fucking on that
well,
in that
we'll
world.
get to that's another one to put a pin into for readers and listeners, whatever. But obviously, next book we have her like crying with Coringus and stuff, right? Like, yeah. So we'll get there. Okay, to end this, and this is the way to end this episode, whatever, for sure. The ordeal and the battle of
Yes,
the five fingers. The
fucking
battle of the five fingers, man. Like,
this fucking book, man. I swear, like, cause like the well, at least the very like there that in there where Kellis starts talking to the ordeal, and he's just like, "Look, I've lied to you. I've
no,
told you."
wait. You're skipping ahead. You got to do the battle first. You have to do the battle first. So they get like stranded on that like the old stone, whatever. It's like five. Like, they call it the five fingers or whatever because it's like a hand reaching up from the ground, or whatever. But they have their. We're following, I believe, the battle or the army of the north or the army of the west or something at this point, or whatever. It's basically like kind of like all the Phantom and Kiani and surrounding soldiers, I believe, whatever. And they have the this is where the mandate and the Volakatai or whatever go at it, right?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you're getting
This
ahead of yourself.
this is fucking insane, dude. Because it's like we're really getting hit with, and we might have before, but like this really shows you the culling, right? Like they're fucking the way that sorcerers
The
are
sorcerers are going out.
culling the
Yeah,
shrink herd, you know.
yeah.
And god damn, if that ain't amazing imagery in its own. But like we get, I love this because you could just be like, one reader could be like, oh, well, fuck it. Why don't they just do that, you know, nonstop and blah, blah, blah. But we see like when they do push the culling maybe a little too far, that fucking shit goes sideways. And the Vocalati,
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name, but he's the same guy who's been
Karen Dusu or
yeah,
whatever.
Karen
Karen
Dusa
Dusu.
or
Yeah,
Karen
yeah,
Dusu. He's
yeah.
been
Yeah.
flipping fucking Zachary's and everybody's shit and been kind of trying to kind of like bang his own drum kind of deal. And here
Sure.
he
Yeah,
is, and
yeah,
he kind of gets fucking like lost in his own power, kind of in the moment, right?
yeah,
And then starts fucking taking out the ordeal.
yeah.
And this is once again just like try to put yourself in the shoes of an ordealman, not a sorcerer, not one of the just a
Just a
regular
regular guy on the
regular
ground. Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Like so, just like on the fucking last battle where you're watching your friends get raped and eaten while you're trying to run away or stab or whatever. Now you're watching the most powerful part of your own army destroy you.
yeah.
That
Well,
would be
each other too,
yeah,
right?
and
Like
then when
they're
the
yeah,
mandate come in, it's like so now
yeah,
it's not oh my fucking god, and then you got to wonder anybody that was watching that starting to worry that their strongest weapons are going to destroy themselves in that
yeah.
moment. And then what?
It's
They're
like
fucking
that
marching to
jealousy. That
Golgotha.
jealousy eats him up, or whatever, right? Because Kellis has already said, like, all I know that the straits are dire. We have the four armies, right? Because they reunite at the end of this book, whatever, right? But like for that moment where they had to like split up for food and forage and stuff, whatever. He's like, all I can do is send you Zachary's, right? And then what he meant is send him fucking the mandate or whatever, right? So when the mandate come walking across, they're all like fulfilled and stuff. But then Karan Dusu's, his jealousy gets a hold of it or whatever, and he fucking turns, and then everyone just turns. Like it's like it's like what happens later in the cannibal bacchanal or whatever, with the ordeal or whatever, where they start like eating each other, but like this is like a sorceress version of it or whatever, right? And then of course, I don't want to belabor our time here or whatever, but so then they fight. They fight. The ordealsmen are just fucking dying because there's
Yeah,
Bashrag,
and I
right?
fucking
Like,
love this because this is like pure fucking chaos, pure chaos. Like everyone's just fucking getting killed, getting swept up in magic, fucking getting killed by Shrank, all kinds of fucking horrible shit. The mandate eventually kind of come up on top of that, right? Like the thing is,
yeah, only because Kellis comes fucking like this is our first like real meta-gnostic example of Kellis coming out or whatever, but he comes in and just like he walks them home, quote unquote, or whatever. But everyone else on the ground is dead. The Vocalati or whatever, or the ones who survive if they do survive or whatever. But like he like literally has to come in like I mean, I know he takes on a whole second horde later in the in Unholy Console or whatever, right? But like so, spoiler alert, but obviously full spoilers for anyone listening. But like, yeah, it really is. It's like he they only get out of there because they can walk on the echoes of the ground or whatever, right? Like, yeah, and they lose that one whole fourth of their army. One whole
yeah, they
quarter is
lose
just
a
fucked.
shit ton,
Yeah,
right? And I love this
yeah.
thing that's like, I can't remember if they strike the Vocalati or if it's just Karen Dusu. I think it's just Karen Dusu, but maybe it is the Vocalati. They get like struck from the records.
I think in TGO I'll have to revisit it. I think it's specifically Karen Dusu or
It
whatever,
might
but
just
it
be
could be the
him, but I mean,
Vocalati. Yeah,
like the
yeah.
thing is for a first time reader, that might not seem like a big thing, but when you come back on your reread, all this massive shit really hits different, and you realize
Yeah.
what it would be. Just like I said, try to put yourselves in an ordealman's shoes. Well, now try to put yourself in a schoolman's shoes who's now being struck from a record of the biggest event that will ever go down in history. You know what I mean? Like that.
This
Like
time. This time.
yeah, this time. This
Yeah,
time.
I'm
Yes,
joking.
this
Go on.
time. No, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it though. I totally yeah, that's my fucking bit. But I mean,
That was
it,
your thing, yeah.
it's a really big fucking deal, man. And I love that Bakker puts this kind of shit in there. I've like that's one of the like even with all the crazy flashing lights and death and violence and flashbang coolness, one of the best parts of that whole deal for me really was hearing that his name was struck from the record. I don't know, something
Yeah.
about it puts like a fucking just like a chill inside me, like, oh fuck, like
Big
damn.
old fuck you, right?
But yeah, because then also like I think it might happen in this book too, like way early on with Sybil Vodka. He's like the first one ever whipped. He's like the first ordealman like whipped. And
yeah,
that
for
like
his he like goes too far and
yeah,
stuff.
because
I
he's
think this is
pushing it.
actually I think
Him and
this is the next
Sorian
book
are
maybe, but
always
yeah.
fucking going at like trying
Oh,
to.
you know what? Honestly, when you talk about him and Horion or whatever, like or he, yeah, how would I say that? Heroin or whatever, maybe I don't know. But I love their little rivalry is like going back to some of the Holy War generals, like some of Proyas's guys and stuff, and like the Gendeki and stuff, and there's another couple or whatever. But yeah, I really liked the Sybil is kind of well hey, you gotta honor the wind has teeth. At Jerry, he Haruku or whatever, like he's got to be celebrated every time, from Prince of Nothing or whatever. But Sybil and Heroin are kind of like that, pair or whatever, right? Where you get that peripheral stuff, side soldier stuff, whatever. That's always
Yeah,
fantastic.
I
So you
love
gotta,
Sybil.
yeah.
Sybil is like ended up, and that's the thing is like I say,
Well,
like
we're gonna talk about that one next book
next
for
book
sure.
is
Yeah,
where he
yeah,
really
yeah,
shines,
yeah.
right? And Baker's a genius at taking somebody from the background, putting them in the foreground, and all of a sudden you're like, I love this fucking
Slowly,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then that's what I say, like on the reread, these things that might just feel like they were just being thrown out there become so much more impactful. Like the whole fucking Sybil being whipped and being on record and all that shit. Like the first read through is like, okay. Second time, I'm like, oh fuck. I'm
I'm just gonna
really
point out right now as a teaser to what's to come, whatever. Being whipped is the least of his worries.
yes, and that's it. Like, if you really go through his journey of the ordeal, like he has one of
he
the
comes.
worst.
Trust me, I'm already plotting this, but he comes up a lot in our next book, whatever. Like
Yes, he
TGO, we
became one
have
of my favorites. Like I
yeah.
fucking love him for
Sybil
sure.
Vaca, man.
Man,
Sybil
great.
Vaca.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
talk about the next book. But yes,
Sybil Vaca, obviously, as we talked about, becomes a more major part of the books, going forward, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I like how, like you said, Bakker does this with peripheral characters. Uh, just to kind of bookend this for everyone, because I know this is a little patchy or whatever, but you can't talk about the ending of this book because we've hit pretty much all the major endings, but the proclamation, Mark.
Yes. Yes.
Say it, Red. Say it.
Yeah, that's it, dude. Where he's Kellis is looking, the fucking ordeal is pretty beat back, and they've already been foraging for food that's like damn near not that far from home, right? They've been kind of hungry already. At this point, it's not looking good, and fucking Kellis knows this though too, right? And so he sets this thing up where we're no longer going to contact home,
Well,
and
that was at the start, actually. That's the indiction is at pretty
yeah.
much the start of
Yeah, and so now
yeah.
so not only they're fucking hungry, they can't call home, it's just like there's like it's the fucking Vocalati have fucking torched their own kind. It's not like it's a kind of a mess. And Kellis fucking in his infinite wisdom just addresses the ordeal, and he's like, I've lied to you. I've told you that there was more when I told you there was less. He's like, from this day forward, we shrank. And that shit,
Yeah.
dude, when I read this, I was like, because I had heard that these books got darker. And me, I'm always looking for the dark shit. And I was kind of surprised that, as dark as Prince of Nothing is, I was expecting it almost to be darker just because of like the kind of reputation it has,
Sure.
When I read this fucking line, that was when I really started to realize, oh, okay. Like this series is dark. And it's obviously going to get dark because this is how he ended it. So we're obviously picking up with this next book.
Right.
But I mean, so many thoughts went through my head. I was like, dude, is Bakker okay? Like, I'm like, did anybody check on him while he was writing this book? Because this is an idea of someone who has just like lost all goddamn hope and fucking this is a madman's idea to put in a book, and it's there. And I mean, I love that that's where it leaves the reader, because it's like, it doesn't go into it yet, because we're gonna go plenty far into it, but I think leaving them with that notion is one of the most like dreadful things. I'm glad that we didn't actually eat a shrink yet. I think leaving it just like this creates just a fucking dark shadow over the reader. Mm-hmm. You really start to realize this shit is not only like we've just witnessed all this horrible stuff, it's like shit's getting real, but we know for a fact it's not going to be pretty at all on all ends now. Because
fuck the slog. The next book's called The Great Ordeal, right?
Yeah, something now just as simple as keeping yourself fed is going to be disturbing. Like that is insane. Like you got to imagine the air they're breathing is probably pretty fucking foul. You know what I mean? If they're not smelling their own bodies, they're smelling the stench of a fucking, the goddamn battlefield. Everywhere they look, everywhere that they listen, every fucking sense that a fucking human being could have is being attacked. Right.
Offended. Yeah.
Like fucking just like raped, like their senses are being raped, and fucking, it's pretty fucking disturbing, man.
It is very interesting that we're talking about a fantasy series, like
yes, I know, because that's what I'm saying. Because like within the same genre, even though there's all these sub-genres, so we could say we could say they're very far apart in sub-genres. But I mean, it's fantasy. It's like Brandon Sanderson is fantasy as well. It's like go read a fucking Brandon Sanderson book and then come read a fucking Bakker book. Holy fuck, you know what I mean? Talk about an author who will fucking kind of give you the flashy, cool, like fun ride versus this goddamn
whatever
nightmare.
This is.
This
fucking
nightmare that Bakker has concocted. The meat.
Yeah, I want to end it on a little point of lore or whatever, but it's I was saying this before we got cut off there or whatever. interesting to note that the mountain or whatever that Kellis is on, I believe people would have to fact check this for me or whatever, but do you remember the story of like the first prophet, like Angreshel or whatever, and he kneels before Husalt, which we don't know necessarily if he's like, because we know the Inkori went to Aena, made the tusk, and like impersonated one of the gods. And you know that story, which is told actually early in White Look Warrior or whatever, because Proyas kneels in the fire or whatever, right? And it's like the idea of the burnt prophet or whatever. Um, so this is actually the mountain where Kellis, tells them that like it's kind of supposed to, I think personally, evoke the sermon on the ziggurat from the warrior prophet. But in this case, instead of preaching the whole fire furnace metaphor, he's preaching we're going to eat Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this actually is I believe a historical annotation or whatever in terms of when the or the four tribes, I should say, come over from Iana or whatever. This is where the Husalt, whether or not that's the Inkori, the impersonating a god or not, that's where Husalt tells the Angratial like they need to like take out the non-men and stuff, whatever, right? So it's just an interesting mountain there, whatever, like in terms of historical pedigree in terms of the
Right,
series,
right,
whatever.
right.
But yeah. Anyways, henceforth we shall eat Shrek, my
Yes,
viewers and
yes.
listeners. Yeah.
Oh man, dude. Oh, I mean, I don't know about you, but the first thing that went through my mind too, after being like super appalled and just worried for Bakker, was I wonder what shrank tastes like. I think I was like maybe fish or something, or eel or something. I don't know.
I actually, because I don't want to get into it now because I feel like we've given more than enough content today or whatever. But next time when we talk, there's a passage early on in the Great Ordeal, which I think I said to Bakker, I think it could have been a short story on its own or whatever. But I grew up in a lot of different variety of circumstances, let's say whatever. But in terms of butchery and kitchens and butchery, uh, I anyways, I don't want to spoil it for next episode or whatever, but essentially like we do get a deep dive into like the kitchen nightmares of how the different portions of the ordeal prepare their strength,
Oh
in
god.
terms of like related to their cultures and stuff,
Oh
right?
god.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get into that
I
at the
can't
start
wait
of
to
next one or
talk about
whatever.
eating shrimp for
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yes, and that's it. That's the only thing we're
Yeah.
talking about the next
Yeah.
episode. Like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, no. For my part, this is great. I'm sure you'll stitch it together fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, no
Yeah,
biggie.
as Red asked me last time, like, you can find me on the internet and stuff. It's whatever, and 2 out of 4 seems pretty well done, sir. I think that even though it was a little haphazard and a little on the fly or whatever,
Yeah.
I know for a fact that people are gonna enjoy listening to us ramble. So
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing is like
yeah.
once you become like a fucking baker, right? You're just kind of down. You're just kind of down to like consume whatever fucking content. You
Well,
know what I
it
mean?
helps that like we're some of the only game in town too, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
it's
We
not
gotta
it's
get
not
this shit out before everybody else does. Yeah,
I
right.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it, man. Okay,
Yeah.
well, plug your stuff and let's wind down.
Yeah,
And strength
guys.
on the
So
journey,
here's the
everyone. Journey well. I
yeah,
love you all.
bam.
Thank
So for
you.
those that are
And
still watching, we fucking thank you from the bottom of our black hearts. We know that your time is precious, and we don't mean to waste it. No,
I think in between all the stitching will be fun.
yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
We
But
gotta be like the mutilated of the Cenobites, right? Or Baker's homage to the
the
Cenobites. Like
mutilated,
we're all
yes.
just like we're all broken, stitched together, all right,
That's it.
people.
If you've read the books,
Like,
you understand how these things will make you fucking insane.
yep.
And for any of
Madness
you that
is
are
on the tin.
still chomping at the bit, guess what? We got plenty more coming down the pipeline. This will be at least two more at least. I mean, if it doesn't go into 5 even, so
I think we're gonna have to do a bonus round for
yeah,
like the glossary and just
I'm
a
already
full wrap
seeing it
and stuff.
coming to
Yeah,
myself,
yeah.
brother. So yeah, get ready. That's
Anyways,
why the only reason why I haven't totally put out there that it'll be 4 because there very well could be more.
yeah.
We'll see. We'll
The
see
the
how it
great
goes.
ordeal is next.
Yes, the great ordeal. All right. Take it easy, guys.